Do Chi continent. Cloud Lanzong. A white streamer streaked across the sky and fell in the depths of Yunlin Mountain, showing a graceful and beautiful figure. Yun Yun looked at the place where her teacher Yun Shan retreated in front of her. Her red lips parted lightly, and said, "Teacher, Yun Yun has something to ask for, please come out and see me." With the blessing of fighting Qi, her voice echoed in the valley, echoing in the empty valley. After half an hour, a white shadow appeared in front of Yun Yun. Bai Ying was wearing a set of very simple white robes. The breeze was blowing, and the robes fluttered, giving a kind of elegant atmosphere. His age does not seem to be very big, and his face does not have the wrinkles that an old man should have, but instead looks like a piece of warm jade exuding a ray of light. However, the white hair revealed that he was not too young. He is Yunshan, the last sect master of Yunlanzong. The disciple has seen the teacher. Yun Yun bowed her hands in salute. You know that master is at a critical juncture in retreat. If you can't give master a convincing reason, even you will be punished. Yun Shan looked at Yun Yun with a trace of anger, and said very dissatisfied. His spiritual consciousness has swept through the Yunlanzong, and the Yunlanzong is calm, without the slightest danger, obviously not encountering a major crisis. In this case, Yun Yun even came to disturb him in retreat. If it wasn't for Yun Yun being his most proud disciple, he would have slapped her to death. For Yunshan's sullenness, Yun Yun was already prepared and said quickly, "Teacher, I have a way for you to break through Dozong without any trouble, and even become Dozun Do Sheng in the future." Do you know what you're talking about? Yun Shan raised his brows. He still believed in breaking through Duzong. Maybe Yun Yun got some great opportunity. But breaking through Dozun Do Sheng, do you really dare to say that? Teacher, I met a great god who surpassed Do Di. Through an unimaginable treasure, consciousness can connect with people in other worlds. Yun Yun briefly introduced the chat group and Hong Meng's situation, and said, as long as you pray to this god, you can get divine grace, and preaching and offering sacrifices can even be rewarded. You broke through the 5-star Do Emperor after praying once. Turn ordinary livestock into divine beasts at will. Let someone become Do Sheng Do Emperor at once. I think you are confused by your cultivation. The more Yunshan listened to it, the more outrageous it became. The Do Sheng Do Emperor was already a legend. He had never even seen Do Zun in his life. Yun Yun also told him that he had seen the existence beyond Do Emperor. Do you also create Du Sheng duty casually? How dare you say it? Novels can't be written like that. Teacher, follow me in your prayers, and you'll know if it's true or not, and it won't take much time. If it's false, the disciple is willing to be punished. Yun Yun said. It is good. Yunshan nodded. Anyway, he has already left the customs. Just pray again and again. He wanted to see if he was really that divine. After a while, a mighty and majestic aura, like a giant dragon awakened from ancient times, with unrivaled coercion, permeates out of Yunshan's body. In an instant, the entire Yunlin Mountain was enveloped, and a powerful pressure that no one had ever felt before spread out from the depths of Yunlin Mountain and filled the entire Yunlin sect. All the Yunlin sect disciples couldn't help but feel the reverence in their hearts, and knelt down on their knees facing the place where the momentum spread. And Yunling and those Yunlanzong elders, although they did not kneel, they bowed respectfully. There was awe and fervor in their eyes. It's the old sect master. Old sect master has broken through Dozong. Old sect master has broken through. Everyone was excited. That was Duzong powerhouse. Their Yunlin sect is about to rise. The elders above Duong rushed towards the depths of Yunlin Mountain, and they wanted to greet the old sect master as soon as possible. God, it turns out that there are such great gods in this world. Yunshan opened his eyes, full of shock and awe. Even if he broke through the dream of Dozong, he didn't care at all. He consciously saw the indescribable chaotic body of the gods. Indescribably huge. Indescribable majesty. Unspeakable horror. The cosmic galaxy flows between his hair, and the infinite world opens up and destroys in his breath. The legendary Do Emperor was not even a speck of dust in front of such an existence, let alone a mere Dozong. Yun, you said that preaching and offering sacrifices can be rewarded by great gods. Yun Shan looked at Yun Yun with a burning gaze, wishing he would immediately fly to preach and offer sacrifices. With such an existence, breathing out a breath is enough to make him a Do Emperor. Exciting to think about. The blood is surging. Yes, teacher, as long as there are more creatures who believe in my God, the better the sacrifices are, and the greater the divine grace you will get. Yun Yun said that she was very happy. Free Dozong thugs get it. Then it's easy. Which offering is the best? Yunshan asked excitedly. I saw the introduction to altars and offerings in the sacrificial law. The altar is divided into 5 classes. The most common one is based on loess, built with wood and stone, with no size specification, just engraved with divine patterns. The fourth class is built with jade as the base, ancient wood as the platform, and 5 elements. The third class is built with divine stone as the base and divine wood as the platform. The second class is built with the sea of stars as the altar, the stars as the foundation, and the core of the stars. The first class is built with chaos as the altar, the world as the foundation, and the origin of the world. Quote. With Yun Yun's narration, Yun Shan opened his eyes and felt more and more insignificant. After he became the coveted Duzong powerhouse, he was only able to build a fourth-class altar. As for the first-class altar, it was beyond his imagination. From Yunyan's mouth, he knew that the world was divided into Hengsha world, small thousand world, middle thousand world, Daqian world and Hunyuan world. The upper limit of the small thousand world is the immortal, and if it is changed to the immortal system, it is immortal, which corresponds to the true God. The upper limit of the middle thousand worlds is the immortal, and the immortal system is the golden immortal level, which corresponds to the main God and below. The upper limit of the great thousand world is the eternal, and the immortal Tao system corresponds to the great Luo Jingxian. The upper limit of the Hunyuan world is the transcendence, and the immortal Tao system corresponds to the Hunyuan de Luo Jingxian. The world needed for a first-class altar must be at least 1,000 worlds. The Do-Chi continent he was in was only a small world, and the whole world was not even as good as a brick on a first-class altar. Can only say, so terrifying. As for the sacrifices, the best ones are Chaos Fetal Membrane, Chaos Treasure, Chaos Qinglian. Yun Shan had never heard of any of these things, and his intuition was unclear. Looking at Yun Yun who was talking about it, he said bitterly, Yuner, tell me about the precious sacrifices that we can find. If you go on, your teacher's heart will be frightened by you. Yunshan sighed. He felt too small. Shivering. We can sacrifice all the rare treasures, rare birds and beasts, and books of exercises that we can find. The amethyst-winged lion king in the Warcraft Mountains is not bad. I'm going to catch it. Yunshan is about to leave immediately. Teacher, wait, Yun Yun hurriedly said. Although these things are okay, but in fact it is like that. We can find a special kind of precious sacrifice. What special offering? Yunshan's eyes lit up, his eyes burning. That is the daughter of destiny or the daughter of great luck who carries the luck of a world. How to find this? I know. Yun Yun looked at the document Wang Hao sent her and said, there are 2 daughters of destiny, one is Ji Yu Zuner who lives in the Shao family now. However, Ji Yu Zuner is the young master of the ancient 8 ancient clans. The ancient clan is the descendant of Emperor Do, and his father, Ji Yu Yuan, is a 9-star Do Shang. We absolutely cannot use our strength. But it doesn't necessarily need to be strong, I can try to persuade her. What about the other one? When Yunshan heard the 9 stars fighting saint, he instinctively raised a sense of awe. As for how Yun Yun knew about these top secret information, he attributed it to the gods, so he didn't ask any further questions. The other is Medusa, queen of the snake people of the Tager Desert. Yun Yun said, this is good. Yunshan's eyes lit up. Although Medusa was a top Duhuang peak powerhouse and famous for her fierce reputation, she had no background. With his current Dozong cultivation, he could easily suppress her. Teacher, apart from offerings, preaching is more important. I think the teacher will go to the Jama Empire again, and let the royal guardians add punishment to my god. Adding punishment heaven is also the pinnacle of Dohuang. As long as he recites, view ideas, and gains divine grace to be promoted to Dozong, he will definitely believe in my god. At that time, we will unify the Jama Empire and its surrounding forces, establish the Hongmeng sect, and worship my god. My god will be happy and reward me. Yun Shan nodded again and again, and said with a big laugh, okay, now you are the spokesperson of my god in the world, you can do whatever you say. Teacher, Hai Bodong, the ice emperor at the pinnacle of Duhuang, is also in Mocheng on the edge of the Tager Desert. He has been sealed by Medusa, so he can use it for himself, let him believe in my god, and speed up our preaching. As for Medusa, it's best to convince her to voluntarily sacrifice to my god, so that the snake people also believe in my god. This is also a blessing for her and the snake people. Yun Yun warned, I understand, add Xingtian, Hebadong, Medusa, and the amethyst-winged lion king to me. After speaking, Yunshan flew up into the sky and hurried to the emperor of the Jama Empire. At this moment, he felt that he was full of energy and had endless energy. Little Dr. Immortal and Yafei are easy to handle, go get them first, and then look at the Shao family. Yun Yun made a decision in her heart, explained to the elder Yun Lanzong who came over, and rushed towards Wudin City. The third shift is coming, not much to say, brothers and sisters, support. Garma Empire, holy city of Jamaica. With the arrival of Yunshan, a terrifying aura suddenly erupted in the royal cemetery, followed by a dazzling yellow light group that quickly flew towards Yunshan. Yunshan, is it you? You actually broke through Duzong. The old voice was surprised. The yellow light group trembled slightly, the light slowly subsided, and finally a white-haired old man in a simple hemp robe appeared. He is the guardian of the royal family, Xingtian, a strong man who stepped into Duzong with one foot. Are you here to make trouble? Jia Xingtian's eyes were solemn, and he looked at Yunshan cautiously. The relationship between Yunlanzong and the Jama Empire is not very good. After all, one mountain does not allow two tigers. Now that Yunshan has broken through to become Duzong, it is normal to want to solve him and let Yunlanzong dominate the Jama Empire. Old man Jia, I didn't come to trouble you. Yunshan was in high spirits and said with a smile, I'm here to give you good luck. Send good luck. Can you still let me break through Duzong? Shantian sneered, and did not believe Yunshan's words. However, Yunshan nodded solemnly and said to himself, that's right. I'm here to let you break through Duzong. Yunshan, don't think you broke through Duzong, I'm afraid of you, what are you trying to do? Jia Xingtian carried a trace of anger, thinking that Yunshan was amusing him. Do you really think that breaking through Duzong can do whatever you want? Even if Yunshan had a way to break through Duzong, he couldn't give it to him. Old man Jia, I'm not joking with you, I got a world-shattering fortune and got in touch with an incomparably great immortal god. As long as you believe in gods, you can get divine grace, that's how I broke through. Yunshan opened his mouth slowly, and Xingtian's eyes became more and more solemn, and he said solemnly, Immortal God. Is the other party a Dozun or Do Sheng? No, my God is the supreme existence that transcends the long river of time, is immortal and shatters the universe and galaxy at the touch of a finger, surpassing Do Di by many times. Thinking of the great being he saw, Yunshan couldn't help but have awe and fanaticism in his eyes. Jia Xingtian has been paying attention to Yunshan's expression, still unbelievable. Transcending the long river of time, destroying the universe and galaxy, surpassing the existence of Emperor Do. Is there such a great existence? Even if there is, will he see you? Old man Jia, you and I will pray to that great God once, and you will be able to obtain divine grace, and then you will know if I have lied to you. Yunshan is not talking nonsense, and goes straight to the topic. Jia Xingtian looked at Yunshan for 2 seconds and nodded. It is good. He wanted to see what the hell Yunshan was up to, whether there really was a great existence that surpassed Emperor Do. Certainly, even if it is not an existence beyond Do Di, even if it is just Dozun or Do Sheng, he also wants to see it. After a moment, a terrifying aura permeated from Xingtian's body. The latter opened his eyes with awe and shock and fanaticism. I didn't expect such a great existence in this world. Just praying once, I broke through, and the foundation is solid, and there is no future trouble. Xin Yue was convinced and was amazed. He looked at Yunshan. You came to me not only to give me good luck, right? What do you want me to do? Old man Jia, the divine grace obtained by prayer is only a trivial part of my God. As long as they believe in my God, everyone can get divine grace. Jia Xingtian nodded, his eyes even more in awe. If hundreds of millions of people believe in prayer, how much grace does the gods need to bestow? It's simply hard to measure. He didn't know that there were few believers in the gods, but it was definitely beyond his imagination. The more I think about it, the more terrifying it becomes. It is indeed a great existence that can open up countless worlds and break the galaxy with a single breath. Really, so terrifying. And to preach for my God and make sacrifices, you can get my God's reward, not to mention becoming a Dozong, it is easy to become a Dozun and Do Sheng. Yunshan said in a loud voice. You want me to spread the belief in God? The penalty day understood and nodded. This is easy, not to mention that God is so generous, as long as you pray, there is divine grace. I don't think anyone can resist this temptation. Yunshan nodded, shook his head again, and said, not only that, I want the Yunlin sect and the Jama Empire to merge into the Hongmeng sect, integrate all the surrounding forces, and then raise the sect to worship my God. Jia Xingtian was silent for a while and asked, who is the master of the Hongmeng sect? Of course it's my disciple Union. She is favored by my God. Who else can do it besides her? Yunshan said without hesitation. It is good. After hesitating for a while, the penalty day agreed. There is such a great God behind Yunlanzong. Even if he breaks through Dozong now, he has no power to resist. Joining it, although the Jama Empire no longer exists, it can go further in the cultivation journey, which is not a bad choice. Not to mention, he has no choice. If they refused, the Gamma Empire would soon be destroyed. Then you will pass down the law, and then go to the Mountain of Warcraft to capture the Amethyst-Winged Lion King alive and use it to sacrifice to my God. After explaining the matter, Yunshan rushed to the Tager Desert. According to Yun Yun's reminder, He found the Ice Emperor Hai Bodong and successfully persuaded the other party to believe in the god of Hongmong. And thanks to the grace of the god of Hongmong, Hai Bodong not only broke the seal of Medusa, but was also promoted to the 7-star Do Emperor. Then, Yun Shan took Hai Bodong to the Snake People. Snake People King City. Wave after wave of patrolling teams patrolled the city, and there were even occasional Duong-level snakemen leaders who would circle the city for a few laps. It exudes a powerful deterrent to any outsiders who dare to covet the King's City. Boom, boom. Suddenly, 2 violent breaths suddenly poured down from the sky. Terrifying pressure filled every inch of space, and the air seemed to become thick and solidified. Feeling the violent breath from the void, like the end of the world, it can destroy any life, and the snake guards were crushed to the ground and shivered. Only the Duong-level snake man strongmen barely maintained their combat power. Their eyes were full of fear, and a shrill sound of enemy attack came from their mouths. Human powerhouse, I don't know why you came to my snake-human territory. Although Mobaz, the leader of the snake people in Duongjing, was angry in his heart, he felt the terrifying aura on Yunshan and Haibodong, but he did not dare to attack, so he had to ask. Let you Queen Medusa come out and see you. Yunshan's calm and domineering voice, with the blessing of Do-Chi, spread throughout the city. Follow closely. Ripples suddenly appeared in the void, and the space in front was distorted. Above the sky, the afterglow of the setting sun shone down, illuminating the distorted space, and a graceful curved body slowly appeared in front of everyone. Medusa was wearing a graceful purple brocade robe, and the delicate body under the brocade robe was plump and exquisite, like a ripe peach, exuding a touch of charm. A head of 3,000 blue silk was casually draped down from the fragrant shoulders, hanging down between the slender willow waist, and under the brocade robe, a purple snake tail was exposed. The tail of the snake swayed slightly, and a wild and enchanting temptation made people feel a little hot all over. Lengan, plump, mature, charming, really is a rare stunner in the world. Yunshan looked at Medusa, sighed in admiration, and said with great satisfaction, as a sacrifice to my god, it's better. Her Majesty the Queen. Above the city wall below, a group of black snakes knelt down and broke through the sky with a respectful voice. Looking at Queen Medusa who appeared above the sky, even Mobaz who had a gloomy face, there was a touch of fascination and deep love in his pupils. This kind of woman who coexists with beauty and strength, let alone a snake human race, even if it is a human race strong, few people can resist this temptation. Yunshan, you actually broke through Duzong. Queen Medusa's long and charming eyes swept across Yunshan and Haibodong, and finally landed on Yunshan, her eyes full of surprise. Breaking through Dozong from Do-Huang can be described as extremely difficult. Overweighting the imperial guardian of the imperial family and punishing the sky has long been the peak of Duhuang, and now the deadline is approaching, but there is still no breakthrough. She doesn't know that the penalty days have been broken through by the grace of God. She has also been stuck at the peak of Duhuang for many years, and she has tried everything, but it is still useless. Recently, she discovered the news of Qinglian's fire. Prepare to find the Qinglian earth heart fire, quench the body with a different fire, and try to break through. Different fire quenching the body, 9 deaths and 1 life. But she had no other way, no matter how dangerous it was, she wanted to try. I didn't think she hadn't tried it yet. Yunshan has already broken through Duzong. That's right, I got the gift of my god, which made me break through my cultivation base, thank my god. Yunshan's eyes are full of gratitude and fanaticism, the god of Hongmong is really great. Just praying once, and giving such divine grace. Let him break through the dream Duzong realm. So generous. God, Medusa was a little puzzled, and secretly said in her heart, could it be that Yunshan has encountered a strong Dozun? My god is a great being that surpasses Do-Di, transcends time, is immortal and immortal, shattering the universe galaxy with a wave of his hand, and opening up immeasurable worlds. Hai Bodong looked frantic and said impassively, I have received the gift of my god. Not only did I break your seal, but I was also promoted to the 7-star Do Emperor. Thank my god. Beyond Do-Di. How is that possible? Medusa exclaimed that Emperor Do was a legend to her, a ceiling of combat power, and could be called a supreme existence. Is there an existence beyond Do-Di? That existence will take care of you 2 little trash fish. Medusa, I'm here today for 2 purposes. Yunshan did not explain. The breath of the strong Duzong suppressed it, and there was no doubt. 1. Let the snake people believe in my god from now on. 2. Let you serve as a sacrifice to my god. Impossible. Yunshan, do you really think you can do whatever you want when you break through Duzong? The anger in Medusa's heart rose, and the violent aura permeated out of her body, and it was like a dead fish and a net. I know I'm not your opponent, but you just broke through, and you're not afraid of breaking your teeth. Oh, Queen Medusa, Don't worry, this is a great opportunity for you, and even the entire snake people. Seeing that the two were about to fight, Hai Bodong hurriedly said, Old man Yun can't speak, but I promise that as long as you see the greatness of my God, you will definitely change your mind. And as a sacrifice, sacrificing my God is not to kill you, but to let you fly to the kingdom of God and serve my God. Under the influence of my God, let alone breaking through Dozong, it is easy to become Do Emperor. I know you don't believe it, but I have a piece of viewing ideas here. You will understand after you recite it with me. Maybe you can take this opportunity to break through Dozong. Break through Dozong. Medusa's eyes were full of suspicion, looking at Hai Bodong as if looking at an idiot. You can break through Dozong by reciting Now Shizi's contemplation of ideas once, so what's the point of cultivating? Is it bad to chant every day? Is there a free lunch in the world? There is no credible reason to lie. No, it's a liar. Could it be that Hai Bodong has been fooled by her seal over the years? You'll understand after you pray to my God. If it's fake, I'll turn around and leave. I won't take any action against you snake people. At this time, Yunshin spoke up and assured, Don't worry, with my strength, I don't need to use any conspiracy against you at all. Queen, don't believe them, humans are the most scheming, and there must be conspiracies and traps. Mobaz said loudly. Roll. Yunshan stared, King Do, how can you interrupt me? While speaking, the aura of his Duzong powerhouse slammed on Mobaz, and Mobaston was hit hard, vomited blood and fell to the ground, with serious injuries. Medusa's eyes narrowed, secretly horrified. Dozong strong. Really scary. It was too late to help. If Yunshin had the intention to kill, Mobaz would have died just now. Her heart became more and more solemn, and it seemed that she still underestimated the strength of Dozong. Definitely not something she can compete with. Once Yunshin is angered, today is probably a disaster for the snake people. Okay, I read it. After thinking for a while, Medusa pondered, I hope you will keep your promises. Don't worry, when you see the majesty of my God, you will beg to believe in my God. Yunshin smiled slightly and said to himself, in the future, you will definitely be honored to know the choice you made today. Knowing that Medusa's sacrifice will bring great fortune, Yunshin also doesn't want to go to war with Medusa, and it is naturally the best to solve it peacefully. After all, the wind on the side of the ear, the wind on the pillow, etc. is the most terrifying. Now that the offense is dead, it is difficult to guarantee that Medusa will not retaliate against him after she arrives in the kingdom of God. And as long as Medusa prays, things are more than half done. No one can refuse the gift of God. Even Medusa is a snake. Queen, countless snake people raised their heads, and the voice of grief sounded. From their point of view, there is absolutely something wrong with the idea of Rausha's view. It must be a trap made by cunning humans. The queen had to compromise in order to protect them. I hope so. Ignoring the strong snake people under her command, Medusa took a deep look at Yunshin. I am both curious and fearful of Nero Shizi's viewing ideas. She didn't believe that Yunshin and Haebadong came all the way to give her a chance. But it's just reading, she wants to see what power it has. She was confident that she could withstand it. Just chanting, it's better than facing Duzong's Yunshin directly. The most important thing is that she is curious about the gods in Yunshin and Haebadong's mouth. That is at least the powerhouse above Dozun. Can get acquainted. Even death is worth it. Chao Wen said, you can die in the evening. In the face of this level of powerhouse, there is no way to hide. Under the angry and worried gazes of countless snake people, Medusa looked at Haebadong. I saw that Hai Bodong's eyes were frantic and pious, and he began to pray. I want to see what power the so-called gods have. Medusa became more and more curious and followed Hai Bodong to pray. After a moment, a tyrannical and terrifying aura emerged from Medusa, and all the strong snake people were shocked and exclaimed, Protect the queen. Ueme, Mobaz and other Duwang powerhouses rushed up one after another, thinking that Medusa had been attacked. Go back. Medusa opened her eyes, and the supreme majesty of the queen permeated out. At the same time, there is also a powerful aura unique to Duzong powerhouses. This is the breath of a strong Dozong. Queen. The queen has broken through. The queen has broken through Duzong. Beautiful and handsome brothers and sisters, me, please recommend and collect. Recommend plus collect equals add more. Eternal continent. In the kingdom of God. Pieces of crystal clear divine crystals piled up like mountains in the temple, exuding a mysterious atmosphere. Hong Meng sat cross-legged in the middle of the divine crystals, and pieces of divine crystals burned, turning into a torrent of purple energy that enveloped him. Behind the head, the halo of martial arts civilization and the halo of immortal civilization are shining, sacred and majestic, and as they slowly rotate, it seems that the profound meaning of the Tao law flows, dispelling inner demons and helping people realize the Tao. The ways of true God are like colorful little dragons, dancing around Hongmeng's divine body, jumping back and forth, which is extraordinary. Suddenly, Hongmeng frowned, as if sensing something, and suddenly opened his eyes. The sun, moon, and stars seem to appear in his eyes, and it is like the universe and the river of stars are turning, and the profound meaning of the infinite avenue emerges, as if seeing through all the ways and laws between heaven and earth. One of the lines of causality and fruit appeared faintly, connecting the distance, as if a strong man was spying. The Fire God. A name appeared in Hongmeng's mind. The Fire God is his only powerful enemy in the eternal continent. Last time, he shot and killed the other two true gods. It is also expected that something will happen now. Hongmeng has mastered several ways of the gods, and there is even a way of life that touches the top avenues of the main god level. Therefore, he could sense that someone was deducing his whereabouts. It should be the god of fire who was looking for a god who is good at deduction and tracking to track him down. Would you like to deal with him? Hongmeng thought about it for a while, then shook his head and decided to be safe and stay for a while. There is only one life. Cannot be neglected. True, with his current strength, it is easy to kill the fire god. His hero Ah Yin can also easily kill the fire god. But the fire god is not like him, he is a loner. The fire god is backed by the fire god temple. Legend has it that the temple of fire was created by an innate great power at the beginning of the creation of the world. It has a long history and is comparable to the eternal continent. The foundation is deep enough to be comparable to any power. It is one of the supreme hegemonic forces in the eternal continent. He killed several true gods, most of which shocked the gods, but the gods couldn't help him. But if he kills the gods, he will surely disturb the main god. With his current background and strength, he is not afraid of the Lord God, and the Lord God will definitely not find him. But the King of God may not. The King of Gods, the King of Gods. Beyond the long river of time and space, all time and space are eternal and free, comparable to the Deluo Jinxian in the immortal realm. Can only say, so terrifying. Even if Hongmeng has a plug-in, there is no guarantee that the other party can find him. Although killing a god, the possibility of disturbing the God King is very small. But what if? There are many God Kings in the Fire Temple, and there are all the terrifying powers above the God Kings. In case the main God powerhouse can't find him, and he is stubborn, to alert the God King, he is likely to be the same as the predecessor. I'd better wait until the King of God to talk about it. Hongmeng secretly decided in his heart. Anyway, God of Fire is just a little ant to him now, and it's okay to keep him alive for a while longer. He doesn't want to take risks. Those who shouted against the sky all day, and in front of the peerless powerhouses, disregarded the difference in cultivation and directly fought hard. In the eternal continent, it is estimated that they will not survive for a day. Go is king. As long as he can survive, the Jade Emperor kicks off his seat. As long as you can live it, the Buddha can hold it. Without thinking any more, Hongmeng entered the chat group consciously. The head of Washan. The days of preaching for my God are really fulfilling and happy. I feel like I have lived in vain before. Descendants of the Dian royal family. What is the head of you doing? Curious. JPG. God's dog. You can't imagine Lao Yu's happiness. Picture. JPG. Wang Hao posted a screenshot of Ning Zong's recovery of youth, heroic and beautiful. Overlord of the World Association. Dog, you are such a person. Shocked. JPG. Descendants of the royal family of Dian. Hand over the book and confiscate it. The second master of Tushan. A pure little fox passed by. JPG. I don't understand what you are talking about. I don't understand it. JPG. Lord of Qin. I suspect you are driving. Holy Maiden of Spirit Hall. No doubt, all of them will be tortured away. The head of Washan. Hey, you are enough. Anger. JPG. Yu Bukchun, who is commanding the transportation of various books at the Shaolin Temple, looks at the chat group with pride in his heart, and you should be envious. Thinking of last night, he seemed to have returned to the first time when the bridal chamber was full of energy. My God is so great. His wife not only regained her youth on the outside, but also regained her youth from the inside out, as if she was 20 years old. That feeling. The head of Washan. People are in Shaolin, for the glory of my God. Picture. JPG. He sent the picture in front of him to the group, lest the topics in the group would be skewed to the sky and the wheels would be pressed against his face. Holy Maiden of Spirit Hall. You sect leader went to raid his house. God's dog. It's cool to search a house for a while, but it's been searched all the time. Always cool. The overlord of the World Association. Old you are so excited to copy a house. It's too petty. I don't know how many houses have been copied and how many houses have been destroyed. The head of Washan. Tyrant. How could I raid my house? This is Master Fangjung, influenced by my god, and voluntarily donated the ancient books in the temple as a sacrifice for the next sacrifice. The dog of the gods. The big sword of the head of you is placed on the neck of Master Fangjung, and he shouts, "Are you willing to donate the ancient books in the temple?" Master Fangjung is afraid. We are willing. Funny. JPG. The Lord of Qin. Real. JPG. The second master of Tu Shan. It's too real. JPG. Sect Master Yunlin. Destroy the formation. I finally got Xiaoyishan and Yafei, and my teacher also got the punishment and Medusa, and I will be able to worship my god soon. God's dog. Sister Yun is so fast. It's just that this is done. Is it serious? Meditation. JPG. The second head of Tu Shan. Googie, you are driving again, no wonder you can't. The head of Washan. Young people, pay attention to moderation. Descendants of the Dian royal family. Young people, pay attention to moderation. God's dog. You guys are naked and jealous. Young and handsome me. JPG. The second master of Tushan. A taste of the second-hand Taoist priest in the future of our world. Disgusting. JPG. God's dog. At Tushan Deja, or Huo Taoist priest is also good. Sister Rongrong, do you want to send Sister Yaoshan? Look forward to. JPG. The second head of Tu Shan. Go away. God's dog. Rongrong, do you still have lollipops? Drooling. JPG. Overlord of the World Association. You are a real dog. Lord of Qin. What is a lollipop? The head of Washan. What is a lollipop? God's dog. Lollipops are delicious, sweet and sour, with a lasting taste and endless aftertaste. The second master of Tu Shan. At God's dog, I have a long-lasting lollipop here, a strong lollipop, which one do you want? Funny. JPG. God's dog. Children only do multiple choice questions, of course adults need all of them. The second master of Tu Shan. Ding. The second head of Tu Shan sent a red envelope. Tu Shan Rongrong sent a group red envelope. Since everyone is curious, everyone will send a little, it is not a precious thing anyway. God's dog received a red envelope. The Holy Maiden of Wuhun Temple received the red envelope. Sect Master Yunlin received a red envelope. The world will Overlord receive. Overlord of the World Association. God, your hand speed is a little bit faster. Descendants of the Dian royal family. It's so fast. Lord of Qin. It's too fast. The head of Washan. It's so fast. God's dog. Isn't it due to Lao Yu? Madam's blessing. Is the hand speed of being single for 20 years just blowing? Wang Hao complained in his heart. Certainly. He didn't dare to post this sentence to the group. Otherwise, I am afraid that Lao Yu will be beaten to death. Affect harmony. He is a good young man. Study well. Up every day. Sect Master Yun Lan. Thank you Rongrong for the lollipop. Sect Master Yunlin. People are in Wudin City. Do you think I want to get Xiao Yan? God's dog. This trick, is he serious? The World Club Overlord. You're not right. Descendants of the royal family of Dian. You all know that when you drive, the wheels of the car will be pressed on your face all day long, and they will all be taken away. The Overlord of the World Association. Can't help but be reckless, just be reckless, my God is with you. Holy Maiden of Spirit Hall. Master, don't bring bad newcomers, I think it's better for Sister Yun to be safe. God's dog. Yeah, Sister Yun, Ji Zuner has a 9-star fighting saint behind Ji Zuner, who can come across space at any time. It's better for her and Xiao Yan to stay still for the time being. The second master of Tu Shan. Sister Yun has found many daughters of great luck. Don't worry, as long as you sacrifice once and get the reward of the gods, you will no longer be afraid. God's dog. You can do whatever you want. The World Club Overlord. Do whatever you want. Lord of Qin. Do whatever you want. Holy Maiden of the Spirit Hall. Don't say it, the powerhouses of the God realm are attacking in a big way, I'll go offline first. God's dog. Sister Bai, start the live broadcast, I want to watch Sister Bai slaughter the god. Looking forward to it, drooling JPG. The Lord of Great Qin. Looking forward. JPG. The head of Washan. Looking forward. JPG. Sect Master Yun Lan. Looking forward. JPG. Holy Maiden of Spirit Hall. Okay, I'll start the live broadcast later, everyone is welcome to watch. BB Dong. Invaders from the God realm, all beautiful and handsome brothers and sisters, join me to meet the enemy. Beautiful and handsome book friend. Wife, I'm here, I'll give you all the tickets, go. Closing parenthesis. Duluo world. Boom. The thunder exploded, the storm surged, and the terrifying thunder snakes ripped apart the sky and destroyed the sky. The boundless vastness of the sky is like the Milky Way falling down 9 days, pouring down from the sky. No matter people, soul beasts, or other creatures, they all felt a sincere fear at this moment. All spirits were crawling, shivering, panic-stricken, and their livers and gallbladder torn apart. Wuhun City. Now it has been renamed Hongmeng Divine City, and Wuhun Temple has been renamed Hongmeng Divine Sect. Under the suppression of Bibi Dong's invincible strength, the Heaven Do Empire, the Star Luo Empire, and the 7 major sects all surrendered and believed in the god of Hongmeng. Although the time is too short, the Hongmeng sect has not been able to completely integrate the entire continent, but it is already the only worthy ruler of the continent. Hongmeng Divine City. The Pope's Palace. Bibi Dong was dressed in a blue robe inlaid with gold patterns, her facial features were exquisite, her skin was better than snow, and her flawless pretty face had a hint of coldness that would keep anyone from 1,000 miles away. Like the snow lotus on top of the iceberg. Noble. Elegant. Tranquil. Holy. It makes people feel amazing at a glance, ashamed, and unable to give birth to the slightest blasphemy. Suddenly, she felt something, stood up, and walked out of the hall. The backbones of the Hongmeng Divine Sect, who were all above the title Duluo, followed closely behind. The leader was Tang Chen and Qian Daoliu, the second of the 3 great limit Duluos in the continent. Now they all believe in the god of Hongmeng, and they have reached the 100th level under the grace of God, which is comparable to the 3rd level gods of the gods. Bibi Dong was able to take control of the major forces in Duluo continent so quickly, and the 2 of them contributed greatly. No matter how strong your personal strength is, sometimes you need some capable dog legs to do chores, so that it is easy to do things. You can't always do everything yourself. That's not exhausting. At the same time, Tang Yuehua is willing to sacrifice to the gods as an offering for the next sacrifice. As for the 2 brothers Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, Bibi Dong did not kill them, so they also believed in the god of Hongmeng. Even Chihiro disease. Originally, when Bibi Dong saw the future, she had a murderous intent in her heart. But as her strength increased, her mentality also changed. Chihiro-ji was nothing to her. Besides, that's just the future, Chihiro-ji was pretty good to her before that. So, she spared Shinzunji's life, and regarded it as a kindness for Shinzunji over the years, and then she lost the master-disciple relationship with Shinzunji. Certainly, Chihiro-ji can also be used as a tool man. Maybe find a woman and give birth to Qian Runshui to sacrifice to the god of Hongmeng. Boom boom boom. Above the sky, endless divine light bloomed, and dazzling light clusters emerged from the sky, and the dazzling rays of light directly covered the sun. Is this the god of the gods? What a terrifying power! Tang Chen and Qian Daoliu stood behind Bibi Dong, looking at the gods descending from the sky in horror. Although they had seen the Shira god and the god of destruction who were captured alive by Bibi Dong, their powers were sealed and they were no different from mortals. This is the first time they have seen the gods who show their power in the realm of the gods. Under this pressure, Title Duluo fell from the sky like dumplings, and the only one who could remain calm was Bibi Dong. Tang Chen and Qian Daoliu barely stood behind her, feeling a lot of pressure. Has the god realm been dispatched in full force? Bibi Dongyu clenched the Asura sword in her hand, and looked at the gods who descended one by one with her beautiful eyes. At the head are the goddess of life, the god of evil, and the god of goodness. Behind them are more than 10 first-level gods. There are 7 elemental gods and 7 original sin gods. It can be said that the high-level combat power of the god realm is almost here. No wonder. Bibi Dong captured the 2 supreme gods, the Shira god and the god of destruction. Bibi Dong, immediately release the god of Shira and the god of destruction. We can forget about the past and divide the Duluo continent to you. The god of evil is mighty, and the majestic sound of the god reverberates through the sky, causing the eardrums to swell and make people dizzy. In the Zudian chat group, Sect Master Yun Lan, there are so many gods, each of which is very strong. I feel that the fighting saints in our world are just like this, right? God's dog. One person alone against the gods of the gods, more powerful than my sister, kill them. The head of Washan. By Saintus is really graceful and splendid, women are not allowed to be men. The second master of Tushan, Ning Navexia is watching the screen. The head of Washan, the overlord of the World Association. I sacrificed all of them in blood. I am afraid that I will be able to obtain immeasurable divine favors than Saintus, leaving behind tears of envy. JPG. Descendants of the royal family of Dian, leave tears of envy. JPG. The Lord of Dakan, leave tears of envy. JPG. Goddess of life, God of evil, God of goodness, I also give you a chance to believe in my God and enjoy eternity. Bibi Dong didn't pay attention to the chat group. She stared at the gods of the gods, her red lips slightly parted, and she opened her mouth slowly. Her goal is not only Duluo continent, but also countless small worlds under the god realm. And want to preach, no matter what can't get around the realm of the gods. They must be beaten. God's dog. Domineering than my sister. 666. JPG. The Overlord of the World Association. The war is about to begin, I look forward to it. JPG. The second head of Tu Shan. Come on then sister. Sect Master Yunlin. I will win more than my sister. Quote. Interesting, is Bibi Dong fighting the gods? In the kingdom of God, Hong Meng looked at the chat group, his eyes were playful, and he was very interested. It's impossible for us to believe in the evil god. The goddess of life shook her head, her voice resolute. What do we have to say with the evil god of heaven? If we shoot directly and kill her, we will naturally be able to rescue the god of Shira and the god of destruction. Shouted the evil god. Go. The gods nodded. They all knew that Bibi Dong was powerful. Although they had never seen it before, God Shira and God of Destruction were both planted. It can't be overestimated. Then, all the gods have come up with a unique trick and shot together. The seed of life. The eyes of the goddess of life were condensed, and a 9-ringed aura appeared behind her head, shining brightly, and a faint green light bloomed from her body. Those green rays of light are very shining, composed of green leaves, and the whole sky is full of the breath of life. A green seed with endless vitality emerged. The god of evil and the god of goodness also appeared in the back of the head of the 9-ring aura. Evil light, sword of kindness, a bundle of dark divine light that penetrates the sky and the earth condenses, as if it can penetrate everything. A holy sword emits a dazzling light, as if it can purify all the filth in the world and cleanse the universe. The 7 gods of original sin looked at each other, each with their own magical powers. Although they are only first-level gods. But the 7 people joined forces, enough to be comparable to the supreme god. God said that greed is the original sin. The low voice of the god of greed sounded, and the powerful thought force suddenly rose into the sky, forming a huge greedy face with a diameter of 1,000 meters in the sky. At the same time, the whole body of the god of greed turned dark gold, and the 7 rings of light behind him were shining brightly. God said that lust is the original sin. The god of lust chanted, the sky turned dark red, and the god of lust became a huge dark red luminous body. In the chat group, all the group members watched with great interest and were very excited. Overlord of the World Association. The abilities of these pseudo-gods are really strange, and each of them represents a kind of power. The head of Washan. I have to say that although they can't be compared with my gods, their strength is really terrifying for mortals. The second master of Tu Shan, indeed. The third master of the Alai Kingdom, who is the ceiling of our world's combat power, may not be able to fight a first-level god. Sect Master Yun Lan. B Sister's world is a small world, these gods are all at the top of the world, and their strength is naturally good. The Lord of Dakan. I envy the people of Shaochen world. Descendants of the Dian royal family. I envy the people of Shaochen world. God's dog. Destroy the formation. The exciting time has come. All the group members gathered in the live video. Such a battle of gods. They have never seen. Don't want to miss it. God said, gluttony is the original sin. The face of gluttony emerged, and a dark yellow light bloomed. God said, laziness is the original sin. The dark green face of laziness emerged. God said that anger is the original sin. The dark orange bloomed, and the face of anger roared above the sky. God said, jealousy is the original sin. The face of jealousy emerged, and the god of jealousy appeared with a dark pink light. God said, arrogance is the original sin. The dark blue god of arrogance was the last to walk out, and the sky also turned dark blue. The 7 original sin gods sang loudly at the same time. All the worlds are false, the original sin god does not exist, the original sin comes, and the heavens and the earth will perish. Om, in the violent humming sound, the entire sky seemed to tremble in the next instant. 7 colors appeared at the same time, and the colorful clouds and mist shrouded the entire Hongmeng divine city, and the terrifying coercion was overwhelming and suppressed downwards. Elemental stripping knife. When the 7 original sin gods formed the original sin gods to come to the divine punishment formation, the 7 elemental gods also took action. The 7 rings of light at the back of their heads bloom, and the power of the 7 elements of gold, wood, water, fire, earth, light, and darkness converge to form a strange long knife. The long knife has no entity, and the whole body is condensed from 7 colors of light. Following the activation of the divine power of the 7 elemental gods, the long sword burst into an unparalleled brilliance, and then slashed towards Bibi Dong. This knife, like an antelope with its horns hanging from its horns, was nowhere to be found, and the terrifying light of the knife came to Bibi Dong in an instant. Xingqian immortal clothes. The divine power exploded, and the azure blue star fairy clothes on Bibi Dong's body bloomed with endless starlight, like an endless stream of stars, shining brightly. This is a true artifact, an artifact that transcends this world. Even the Asura sword of the god of Asura is only a high-grade divine weapon, but the Asura sword in Bibi Dong's hands has already reached the level of a true divine weapon. When the elemental peeling knife was the first to slash on the Xingqian Sheni, but there was no earth-shattering roar, but the terrifying power of the seven elements continued to erode. Puff, Tang Chen and Qian Daoliu, who had just reached the 100th level and could barely be called gods, were affected by a wisp of aftermath, and a mouthful of blood suddenly spewed out, like a broken kite falling from the sky. Break. 20 spirit rings appeared on Bibi Dong's body, and the 9-ring aura bloomed at the back of her head, and the terrifying divine power directly shattered the elemental peeling knife. At this time, the goddess of life, the god of evil, the god of goodness, the 3 supreme gods, and the 7 gods of original sin, composed of the gods of original sin, descended and attacked. Time and space imprisoned. The Asura divine sword slashed out, and the void solidified, as if the pause button had been pressed, and all attacks were frozen in the air. The terrifying sword light killed the goddess of the gods and other gods of life. Crack cack cack. The 3 supreme gods plus the 7 original sin gods and the 7 elemental gods surged with terrifying and vast divine power, the sky trembled, and the starry sky swayed. The space rattled and cracked like a mirror. Follow closely. The entire space collapsed in an instant, the time-space confinement was forcibly broken, and the terrifying attack poured down like a tide, drowning Bibi Dong. At the same time, Bibi Dong's previous sword also defeated the great formation of the 7 gods of original sin and the 7 gods of elements. Boom! Terrifying spatial turbulence swept through, and the storm of destruction raged. All the members of the chat group were stunned. It was the first time they had seen such a terrifying battle. The live broadcast of the chat group is very powerful, giving them an immersive feeling, and the feeling is very clear. The dog of the gods. Hey, these gods don't talk about martial arts, they not only bully more and less, but also bully women. The second head of Tu Shan. Do you look down on women? God's dog. Sister, I was wrong. Wang Hao touched the cold sweat on his forehead. Woman, it's so scary. Sect Master Yun Lan, isn't there anything wrong with Big Sister? The overlord of the World Association. With the protection of the fairy clothes given by my god, there will be nothing wrong, not to mention the imprint of the gods. The head of Washan. Yeah, it's really hard to beat, and you can use a ray of divine power left by my god, the ending is actually doomed. God's dog. Suddenly I feel sympathy for them, and I mourn for the goddess of life for 2 seconds, funny. JPG. The descendant of the Dian royal family. The outcome of this battle is already doomed. I wonder if I can see the mighty power of my gods. Lord of Qin. Looking forward to +1. Head of Washan. Looking forward to +1. No one would doubt the power of God, but so far, God has never made a move. I don't know what it feels like to be a big guy. What a horrific sight it must be. Under the expectant gaze of all the group members, Bibi Dong's celestial clothes flickered, and the starlight shone out of the void. Her skin was white and greasy, her long hair was fluttering, her robe was fluttering, and she had a pair of long, snow-white, round legs under her azure blue star fairy clothes. Unparalleled grace, unparalleled elegance. She holds the Asura sword, like a goddess of the 9 heavens. On the opposite side, the goddess of life, the god of evil, and the god of goodness were also uninjured. Although the 7 gods of original sin and the 7 gods of elements were a little embarrassed, they formed a new formation. And the power is stronger than before. Bibi Dong's strength was also at the limit of the God King. Certainly, this is the God King of Duluo world, not the God King of the Eternal Continent where Hongmeng is located. The God King of the Eternal Continent is comparable to Duluo Jinxian. It was a terrifying existence that transcended the long river of time, roamed the heavens, and could destroy the world of Shaochen with a single thought. The true king of gods. Before, Bibi Dong was able to subdue the Shira god and the god of destruction with one move. It was the Shira god and the god of destruction who didn't understand her ability, so she was taken away by a wave, and there was no chance to exert her strength. And at that time, as she said in the group, she had done her best. Now facing the gods who have come prepared, she is also incompetent. Heavenly evil god, it's just like that. The 9-ringed halo at the back of the evil god's head turned, which was divine and extraordinary, and sneered. Before God Shira and God of Destruction were captured alive, and they were secretly shocked. Only now did they find out that although Bibi Dong is stronger, that's what it is. Not as terrifying as they had guessed before. They gathered the power of the gods, not incapable of confrontation. They could even defeat Bibi Dong and drive her out of the Duluo world. As for killing, they didn't think about it. Bibi Dong is very powerful. It is almost impossible for them to kill Bibi Dong. Bibi Dong was about to leave, and they couldn't stop him. Kill. The divine power of the gods in the realm of the gods exploded, and they had to use their magical powers to defeat Bibi Dong completely. However, a scene that surprised them appeared. Bibi Dong didn't even intend to fight back, but instead knelt down in the void. Do you want to surrender now? Late. The evil god jokingly opened his mouth, but there was no relaxation in his heart. They knew that Bibi Dong could not surrender. Even if they surrender, it is impossible to kneel down for them. Because they are no better than Bibi Dong. The strong have dignity. Then there is only one possibility. She is summoning a stronger alien evil spirit. Kill her, the evil god roared, and the gods did not hesitate to shoot again. At the same time, there was a bad premonition in their hearts, as if some kind of terror was about to come. If the other party comes, they will die, must be blocked. At the same time, in the chat group, all the group members are boiling. God's dog. Looking forward to my god coming, small bench. JPG. Descendants of the royal family of Dion. My god descends, the world is turned upside down, excited and looking forward to it. JPG. The overlord of the World Association. I can finally see the mighty power of my god, I look forward to worshipping. JPG. Sect Master of Yunlin Sect. Looking forward to worship +1. The second Master of Tushan. Looking forward to worship +1. Lord of Qin. Looking forward to worship +1. In the eyes of all the members of the group with excitement and anticipation. Bibi Dong's graceful body knelt on the ground, showing her moving curves. Her pious voice said loudly, respectfully invite my god to come and destroy the false god. Her voice was like thunder, resounding across the sky, hundreds of miles in radius, and all beings could hear it, all of a sudden. Under the horrified gazes of the gods and other gods, a mysterious light flew out from the imprint of the gods on Bibi Dong's eyebrows. Summon the evil god now, it's too late. Give me death. The gods and other gods of the gods were angry, but their anger turned into anger, and they did not show their power. Instead, it exposes their inner fears, reveal their weakness and incompetence. However, before they could take action, there were thunderous explosions in the world. The thunder snake ripped apart the sky and the earth were turbulent, the starry sky swayed, and a ray of mysterious divine light that flew from Bibi Dong's eyebrows erupted with endless terrifying power. The 3,000 laws emerged together, the avenues roared, and the purple energy came 100,000 miles east. Boom. The world seems to be whining, and it seems to be cheering and congratulating, welcoming a great existence. The sky, thunder and earth fire evoked endless spiritual energy, evoked 3,000 rhymes and laws, and slowly condensed into an incomparably huge, incomparably stalwart terrifying figure. This is, the goddess of life, the god of evil, the god of goodness and other gods were shocked and looked forward. In the turbulent world, a figure stretched for millions of kilometers, and the phantom that could not see the end slowly condensed into reality. An unparalleled terrifying aura permeated out. The breath was extremely vast and profound. Like a god who is above all living beings, he has crossed the river of time and came here. The surging power turbulent the heavens and the earth, and the terrifying aura shrouded in clouds and smoke swept across the heavens. Not only ordinary creatures, even if these gods feel this breath, there is a feeling of palpitation spontaneously arise. When I came, the world was not open, and the world was chaotic. When I came, all sentient beings were ignorant, and they drank blood. When I come, one after another, ancient and magnificent divine sounds rang out, as if praising the arrival of a great existence. The sky is falling, the ground gushing golden lotus. Endless Tao rhyme and law condensed, the stalwart figure condensed and formed, turned the virtual into reality, and shone with mysterious and complex divine light all over his body. Mystery. Majesty. Powerful. Fear. Not to be spied on. Not to be desecrated. Only the pair of huge bright eyes like the sun and the moon seemed to contain the cosmic galaxy. See through the past and the future. See through time and space. See through life and death, reincarnation. Profound. Boundless. Majesty. Vast. Under these eyes, all their secrets seemed to be seen through. Endless awe rose in his heart, and a huge pressure shrouded him. There is an urge to kneel and surrender. Only by surrender can one be liberated. Only by surrender can one be at ease. Only by surrender can you be free. Meet my God, welcome my God to come. Bibi Dong has a pious voice and a frenzied expression. A graceful and delicate body, kneeling on the ground. Skin is as smooth as snow, with graceful curves. Meet the great god of Hongmong. My god bless. Immediately afterwards, deafening cheers sounded. The sound was surging, as if a stormy sea was sweeping the world. Countless people in Hongmong Divine City and the entire Duluo continent knelt on the ground and prayed sincerely. Although the belief in the god of Hongmong has not spread to everyone, it now covers at least 80% of the population of Duluo continent. Ding! A ray of faith has been detected. This time, you will gain a 100,000-fold increase, and you will gain 100,000 ray of faith. Ding! A ray of faith was detected. This time, you will gain a 1,000,000-fold increase, and you will gain a 1,000,000 ray of faith. Ding! Detected a ray of faith. A series of reminders sounded, and the power of belief that Hong Meng obtained skyrocketed, and 2 mountains of divine crystals appeared around him. You must know that the power of 1,000 strands of faith can be condensed into a strand of divine power. 1,000 strands of divine power can be condensed into a divine crystal. In other words, the power of 1,000,000 faith is equal to 1 divine crystal. For the gods, divine crystals are like a backup source of power. As long as there are enough divine crystals, they are almost omnipotent. As for the power of the source, it is a higher level power of divine power. As long as the power of the source is enough, it is omnipotent. For example, the power of the source can create the world, create life, create the treasure of chaos. Omnipotent. Certainly, the premise is that there is enough power of origin. Even though Hong Meng now has several heroic creatures and gained a lot of source power, it is far from enough to do this. To create an innate treasure requires 1 billion source crystals. Chaos Arcana is even more terrifying. And a single source crystal requires 10,000 trillion source power. Hong Meng's addition to the infinite increase of the plug-in increase is not enough for a trillion source power, not enough for a source crystal. Certainly, the innate treasure is a treasure for the God King comparable to the golden immortal of the Great Luo, if it is so easy to manufacture. Isn't the congenital treasure already rotten on the street? Most God Kings do not have innate treasures in their hands. However, Hong Meng has an unlimited increase in plugins, and in the future with enough heroic Holy Spirit, he can obtain a huge source of power every day. If you are lucky, there will be a multi-million-fold increase, and the innate treasure will be there. In the future, the Chaos Clock will be on the top of the head, the Taiji map will be footed, the Pengu fan will be held in one hand, and the Immortal Execution Sword will be in the other. Just ask the world, who will compete with each other? Not really. Let's try an axe. Suppressing the reverie in his heart, Hong Meng Divine Sense felt the incarnation of Duluo world, and then his thoughts moved. The divine light bloomed from the incarnation of Duluo world, like the bright moon in the sky, but it was billions of times brighter than the bright moon. Holy! Bright. The light shines brightly. It is like a bright sun, which makes people unable to look directly. But all the people who prayed devoutly, even if they didn't know the name of the god of Hongmong, under this divine light, they were very clear at this moment. This is the god of Hongmong. Is their god, is their belief. Their Father and Lord. The holy and holy light filled the air, illuminating the world in a blink of an eye, covering the entire Duluo continent. The power of the gods disappeared. The aftermath of the devastating battle subsided. Happiness appeared on the faces of all believers. No more fear. No longer apprehensive. Don't worry anymore. Practically satisfied. Shrouded in holy light, they felt warm all over, as if they had returned to their mother's arms, and all the pain had disappeared. The waist is not sore. No back pain. Even broken arms and broken legs have grown out. All become more religious. Pan-believers become ordinary believers. Ordinary believers become devout believers. Devout converts to fanatic. Many believers even became mad believers. The power of faith surged again. In the chat group, all the group members were excited. The overlord of the World Association. My God has come, I am excited to worship. JPG. The head of Washan. Just the manifestation of a ray of divine power left by my God is so terrifying, I worship. JPG. Sect Master Yun Lan. Although I have seen my God's indescribable chaotic body when I prayed, I have seen my God manifest with my own eyes. That kind of impact is still extremely shocking, extremely vibrating, unparalleled, and trembling with excitement. JPG. God's dog. My God is mighty, my God is invincible, I worship my God, and all 5 bodies are on the ground. JPG. The second master of Tu Shan. My God is mighty. Hong Meng, who was secretly peeping at the screen, couldn't help laughing and laughing, watching the flattery of the crowd. Is this the life of a boss? Really unpretentious. Make people like. Around the ancient emperor, there must be a bunch of dog legs, flattering every day. But, listening, how can there be a kind of physical and mental joy, and the whole body is rushing? But the gods of the Duluo world were not happy. They were all cold, and endless fear flooded their hearts. My God, is this the evil god? The goddess of life widened her eyes, her full chest heaved violently, the branches trembled wildly, infinite fear arose in her heart, and her legs and feet became weak. This alien evil god is too terrifying. Just manifesting a phantom will suppress the world, suppress the heaven and earth, and trample all things in the world. If the real body came, wouldn't the whole world collapse? How can there be such a strong evil god? The god of evil is unbelievable, and the three views are subverted. In his opinion, even if the evil god that Bibi Dong invited was stronger, it was limited. They fight with all their might, not necessarily without a chance of winning. They are all ready to destroy Duluo continent. However, he never imagined that the evil god that Bibi Dong invited would be so terrifying. That vast divine might, the majesty that cannot be seen. That indescribable stalwart, let them not be able to resist. The gap is huge, hesitating Yingwo compared to Haoyu. Like a drop of water compared to the sea. Not to be an enemy. Unbeatable, can't beat. Is this the real god? The greed on the face of the god of greed disappeared. The jealousy on the face of the god of jealousy vanished. The gluttony on the face of the gluttonous god is gone. The desire on the face of the god of lust is holy. The laziness on the face of the lazy god is gone. The anger on the face of the angry god was nothing. The arrogance on the face of the god of arrogance turned into humility. This is what they really look like. They were shocked. In front of this evil god, they felt like mortal babies. Incredibly weak, extremely fragile, incredibly small. When I left, chaos was beginning to open, and the world was clear. When I leave, the fire is passed down from generation to generation, and all things prosper. When I leave, the light of civilization shines on the world. The grand voice is getting louder and louder, and the incarnation of the stalwart god is shrouded in dazzling brilliance, holy and majestic, sacred and inviolable. Evil will pass away. The final sound of the Tao is loud and loud, resounding through the sky, through the ages, through the past and the future. The dazzling white holy light suddenly erupted, filling the world. Glory lasts forever. Everyone's eyes were pure white, and everything in the world turned white. Yu clarified, the filth does not exist. The whole world seems to have pressed the pause button. No sound, no color. There is no evil. When the pure white holy light disappeared, the heaven and the earth returned to calm and returned to its previous appearance, as if nothing had happened, and everything was like a dream. Bibi Dong raised her head. The incarnation of the god of Hongmeng has disappeared for some time, as if it had never appeared. The gods of the gods were still standing in their original positions, not moving at all, only. Their expressions froze, and the breath of life had disappeared, all dead. Bibi Dong's pupils shrank, and she took a deep breath. Hiss. Quote. The third shift is here. Xiaomo is mad. Beautiful and handsome little brothers and sisters, me, kneel and beg, please recommend and collect. Recommend plus collect equals add more. 10,000 Zudian chat group. God's dog. Hi. The head of Washan. Hi. Descendants of the Dian royal family. Hi. The overlord of the World Association. Hi. The chat group was dead silent, except for the sound of gasping for breath. A long time. All the group members came back to their senses. Shocked. Can't be added. Superior God's dog. My God's holy light has blinded my dog's eyes. Although I can't see anything, I am still shocked and cannot describe it in words. The head of Washan. The sound is loud, the elephant is invisible, and my God makes a move. It's not like the battle between the saintess and the gods. The glory of my God shines, and all evil is gone. My God is mighty, and I worship him. Overlord of the World Association. My God is really too strong. The power shown before by the saintess and the gods has destroyed the world. However, under the glory of my God, everything is gone with the wind, not even a single wave can rise. Tu Shan's second master. My God is mighty, my God is invincible, and the eyes of worship. JPG. The sect master of Yunlin sect. My God is mighty, my God is invincible, and the eyes of worship. JPG. Holy Maiden of Spirit Hall. Thanks to my God, without the obstruction of the gods in the God realm, I will soon be able to spread my beliefs to every corner of the God realm, and then spread it to countless small worlds around me. God's dog. Envy and jealousy. Big sister took off. Hug your thighs. JPG. The descendant of the royal family of Dian. I just conquered the surrounding small countries such as Liao and Shisha, but when I saw the grand blueprint of the saintess, I suddenly felt bad, envious and jealous. The head of Washan. I suspect that the above is pretending to be coercive. How can I be a little guy who has just ruled the rivers and lakes and became the national teacher of the Ming dynasty? Leaving tears of disappointment. JPG. The overlord of the World Association. People are on the road, ready to let the Supreme abdicate, and now I suddenly feel that the position of the Supreme is not fragrant, I am envious and jealous. The Lord of Great Chin. When did the widow unify the 6 kingdoms? So ashamed. JPG. The second head of Tu Shan. Mengxin is shivering. JPG. It feels like the big guys are pretending to be forceful. Sect Master Yun Lan. No doubt, the boss is just pretending to be coercive. Mengxin looks up at the big boss's little eyes. JPG. Quote. A group of funny netizens, chatting quite a lot. On the throne of the temple, Hong Meng held his chin in one hand, and looked at the group of friends and water with a wisp of consciousness, which was also very interesting. Just to keep his style, he could only silently spy on the screen. Jing Salamander was wearing metal armor and fishnet stockings. He was tall, slender and graceful. He stood quietly behind Hong Meng, and his soft little hands pinched his shoulders and beat his back. The life of the gods is so unpretentious. Ding, it has been detected that the world where the world overlord is located has changed, and there is an invasion of extraterritorial demons. Please eliminate the extraterritorial demons as soon as possible, and reward 10,000 points. Ding, the group mall is open. Why do you feel that there is something wrong with the way I open it? Hong Meng raised his brows. He found that the Infinite Booster plugin was the predecessor, and the chat group was originally a dog. Where is his golden finger? I don't even have a golden finger. Horrible. But now it's his. He is now a man with 2 golden fingers. No, it's 2 golden fingers. My God forgives my sins. Am I trying too hard? Subordinates are useless. They can't do a little thing well. Jing Zhao saw Hong Meng frowning, thinking that she did not do well, and knelt down on the ground, frightened, and his eyes were full of self-blame. It's none of your business, just thinking of something else. Hong Meng shook his head and said, go ahead. Yes, my God. Jing Zhao breathed a sigh of relief, stood up and continued to beat Hong Meng's back. Every action is more serious and more careful. Hong Meng looked at the chat group. The group members were still in the water group, and there was nothing unusual. It seems that only the group owner like me can see the quest in the group mall. Hong Meng opened the mall and found that there were all kinds of dazzling goods in it. Opening axe, fortune-telling jade plate, immortal killing sword, chaotic bell, relying on Pangu flags. There are treasures in the heavens and the world. Sure enough, this is the correct way to open a chat group. Hong Meng was not surprised. If the chat group only communicates with all the worlds in the world, then ordinary people like Wang Hao, even if they know the plot and have tricks, it will be difficult for them to rise quickly. A lot of big guys are not so good at fooling around. And with this store it's easy. But for Hong Meng, there was no surprise in this group of malls. He inherited the Infinite Boost plugin of his predecessor, and he is a god, and the Qun Mall is just the icing on the cake for him. Even the group mall let group members know that it was not good for him to spread his beliefs. After the group members knew about the group shopping mall, they would definitely want to earn points to buy treasures. Who still has the intention to preach and sacrifice for him? Fortunately, as the group owner, he can set permissions, such as group malls and group tasks. If he does not agree, the group member will concede. Not bad. Hong Meng nodded in satisfaction. If points are easy to earn, he doesn't need to spend a lot of source power to make treasures. You can buy it directly in the group store. However, he glanced at the group mall, and the points for treasures like innate treasures are all in billions. The task of destroying foreign demons is only 10,000 points. When will it be possible to collect points in billions? And he has infinite booster plugins. Maybe it is faster to use the power of the source to create the innate treasure than to earn points to buy the treasure. Certainly. After all, the group mall is a channel, better than nothing. It is better than having a price without a market and no channel to buy. An alien demon. Looking at the group task, Hong Meng thought for a while, and gave up the plan to personally instruct Shangba to kill the foreign demons. He is so tall. An extraterritorial demon is not worthy of his personal orders. Hong Meng used the group owner's authority to modify the task of the chat group and send it to the group. The chat group sends out a general announcement. Ding, urgent task. It has been detected that the world where the world overlord is located has changed, and there is an invasion of extraterritorial demons. Please eliminate the extraterritorial demons as soon as possible. The reward depends on the completion of the task, and the rewards vary from artifacts and exercises. God's dog. The chat group sent quests, and also rewarded artifacts and exercises, drooling. JPG. The Lord of Dakin. The male gang leader is really powerful. Except for the Saintess, no one in the group seems to have a divine weapon, right? Of course, except for my god. The head of Washan. Envy. JPG. Gang leader, do you need help? Looking forward. JPG. God's dog. There are extraterritorial demons in the world of the male gang leader, Lao Yu. Your world is also prone to extraterritorial demons. God's dog. You have to be careful. Squint smile. JPG. The second master of Tu Shan. God, your expression is so wretched. Laugh and cry. JPG. The head of Washan. With the protection of my God's glory, I have nothing to worry about. God's dog. Old Yu, let me tell you, many foreign demons are boss Sao type, the best one. Your wife is the most famous, not to mention that she has regained her youthful beauty, you know. Smirk. JPG. Descendants of the royal family of Dian. Sympathize with the head of Yu for 3 seconds. JPG. Lord of Qin. Sympathy for sect leader Yu for 3 seconds. JPG. The head of Washan. You are envious. The overlord of the World Association. At God's dog, what is an extraterritorial demon? Shangba is not in the mood to brag with them, he just wants to know the situation of the demons outside the realm. Holy Maiden of Soul Hall. Is it an extraterrestrial demonic creature? Sect Master Yun Lan. It might be a monster or something. The second head of Tu Shan. Is it similar to extra-circle creatures in our world? Head of Washan. Curious. The first time the chat group posted a task. Are killing unknown creatures like extraterritorial demons, as well as rewards such as artifacts. All the group members were moved. Although they are believers of God, but earning some extra money will not affect their belief in God. Fourth shift arrives, brothers and sisters come to support and recommend. Closing parenthesis. God's dog. As far as I know, there are many kinds of demons outside the realm. There are weak and there are strong. Powerful extraterritorial demons shatter the galaxy between their fingers, destroy the universe, and even transcend the long river of time to travel the heavens. The head of Washan. Hey, how terrifying the foreign demons are. The overlord of the World Association. Trembling, my God bless. JPG. Shangba was a little flustered, the extraterritorial demons were so terrifying. But thinking of the god of Hongmong, his flustered heart suddenly calmed down. With my God, let your demons go wrong, and eventually disappear. I am invincible. Descendants of the Dian royal family. It's so terrifying, the gang leader mourn. The overlord of the World Association. This gang leader is not dead yet, not to mention that with the blessing of my God, who can kill me? Domineering eyes. JPG. The second head of Tu Shan. The hero of the gang is domineering, I am a mighty hero. Sect Master Yun Lan. The gang leader is domineering, I am a mighty hero. God's dog. Destroy the formation. Hello, what are you doing? Do you still want to know the news of the demons outside the realm? Overlord of the World Association. Boss, please speak. The head of Washan. Boss, please speak. The second head of Tu Shan. Boss, please speak. Quote. Sure enough, the essence of human beings is a repeater. Hong Meng smiled in his heart. Looking at this group of sand sculpture friends, it was quite interesting. Dogs are also good. In the group, give popular science to the group members, spoilers, and make it easier for the group members to preach and sacrifice. Hong Meng did nothing, just waited to harvest the fruit. Still mysterious and majestic. Certainly. The necessary sanctification is still needed. The grace of God is like the sea, and the power of God is like a prison. Only in this way can we deepen our faith and gain more believers. In the chat group, God's dog. Actually, don't worry about the male gang leader. The chances of you encountering a powerful alien demon that snaps at the broken galaxy are very small. Most of the alien demons are not powerful. However, there is a type of extraterritorial demons among them, and the overlord needs to be very careful. They may seem weak at first, just like normal people, but very difficult. And this type of extraterritorial demons is also the most. The overlord of the World Association. Oh, which category is it? Holy Maiden of Spirit Hall. Curious. God's dog. You have to be more careful than elder sister. If this kind of foreign demons come to Duluo world, they will rob you the most. Not only robbery, but also robbery. Wang Hao thought of the most. Extraterritorial demons. As long as they came to Duluo world, 10 and 9 would have BB Dong. The overlord of the World Association. Shocked. The extraterritorial demons turned out to be lechers. God's dog. Master, don't say it, you are really right. This type of extraterritorial demons, they are creatures from other worlds, such as me. Like me, they know all kinds of information about your world, and then they will use this information to prescribe the right medicine, harvest treasures and beauties, and reach the pinnacle of life. The head of Washan. Dog, so you are such a person. The second head of Tu Shan. Goji, I've seen it long ago, you have plans to compare your sister, you're wrong. God's dog. I'm not. You are talking nonsense. I don't. The descendant of the Dion royal family. Shocked, the dog turned out to be an undercover alien demon. God's dog. Damn it. Are you shocked by the ministry? Do you still want to know the news of foreign demons? The overlord of the World Association. Don't interrupt, this old man's life is at stake. Overlord of the World Association. At God's dog, boss, please continue to speak. God's dog. Not bad, but the gang leader has good eyesight. These kinds of extraterritorial demons, they may be weak at first, but most of them have a kind of golden finger called the system. This system is against the sky, its power is beyond your imagination, and its abilities are also strange. For example, in some systems, as long as you kill people, you can become stronger, and you can get treasures. In some systems, you can become stronger by accepting beautiful women, keep getting stronger, keep getting better, keep getting better. In some systems, you will become stronger when you are scolded, and the more you are stunned, the stronger. With some systems, signing in becomes stronger. Some systems get stronger when you sleep. It's a bit of a system, it's Xiaoqiang who can't be killed, and the more you fight, the stronger you are. Overlord of the World Association. Hi. It's so terrifying. The head of Washan. Hi. It's so terrifying. The Lord of Qin. This is totally unreasonable. It's terrifying. God's dog. The system is to make the unreasonable become reasonable, so terrifying. The second head of Tushan. This system is too strong. The demons outside the territory are still robbing me. Woohoo, people are so scared, pitiful and helpless, shivering. JPG. God's dog. Wrong, are you lustful? If the demons from outside the realm want to rob Hong Hong and Yaya, they are drooling. JPG. The head of Washan. Dog, you exposed. The second head of Tushan. At God's dog, get out, my sister wants to serve my God. Pride. JPG. The Lord of Qin. A black belly wrong goes online, cheats girlfriends, and cheats sister again. The second head of Tushan. I don't. I'm not. You are talking nonsense. The second head of Tushan. Don't you mean extraterritorial demons? They actually have such a system that defies the sky. I really want a system that will become stronger when you sleep, and you can sleep and become stronger in the future. Look forward to it. JPG. Tushan Rongrong quickly changed the subject. Really. As soon as her topic came out, she successfully diverted the attention of all the staff. Even Hong Meng noticed. But Hong Meng just wanted to hang her in front and smack her ass. Bring the group crooked. Descendants of the royal family of Dion. How can one be enough? Give me a dozen. The head of Washan. How can one be enough? Give me a dozen. Holy Maiden of Spirit Hall. Destroy the formation. Does the system have my divine fragrance? I am invincible. It's still good. Seeing this, a smile appeared in Hong Meng's eyes. As expected of my precious saint, she won my heart, and I will definitely reward her well in the future. He definitely wasn't because of Bibi Dong's fair complexion, her protruding front and back, and her beauty. It was because Bibi Dong was the only fanatic in the group. Since Bibi Dong borrowed the power he left behind to destroy the gods in the god realm, Bibi Dong has broken through from a devout believer to a mad believer. One mad believer is worth more to the gods than 100 devout believers. Certainly, each of these group members in the group represents the faith pasture of a world behind them. They are both important to Hong Meng. This little fox has a strong desire to survive. Seeing the news below, Hong Meng smiled slightly. The second head of Tushan. My God is invincible, and the system is scum in front of my God. Overlord of the World Association. My God is invincible, and the system is scum in front of my God. The head of Washan. I am invincible. At this moment, all the members of the group are desperate to survive. Whether the system exists or not is another matter, but God is real and extremely great. They must hold on to God's thigh, follow God's guidance unswervingly, and spread God's glory and faith. The Overlord of the World Association. The system is so powerful, it must be a good sacrifice. The old man will go to the foreign demon, kill him, and sacrifice his blood to my God. Seeing this, Hong Meng's eyes lit up. According to his guess, 9 times out of 10, this extraterritorial demon is a system carrier. If Shangba blood sacrifices to him, and the system goes through infinite booster, what will he gain? To know that the system function is so defiant, it is definitely not an ordinary product. Hong Meng secretly looked forward to it. God's dog. The gang leader is domineering and sacrifices my God with the blood of foreign demons. My God should like it, and the gang leader remember to broadcast live. The head of Washan. I want a live broadcast. I'm curious about what the demons outside the territory look like. The Holy Maiden of the Spirit Hall. Master, if there is a need, I can come and help, all for the glory of my God. Although the gang leader has the imprint of the gods, it's not good for me to trouble my gods. What's more, after using the imprint of the gods once, you need to accumulate energy for a long time, and you can use it for the second time after about a year. This is a life-saving trump card given to us by my god, and it cannot be used easily. Bibi Dong used it once and knew it very well. She couldn't do it before. In addition to the gods in the group, she is the strongest in cultivation. It's no use calling the group for help, so she can only use the power left by Hong Meng in the imprint of the gods to destroy the gods of the gods. The Overlord of the World Association. Thank you for telling the Saintess that what the saints said is very true. The power of my god must be used carefully. This is the biggest trump card that my god has left us. If there is a need, then I will shamelessly ask for help from the Saintess, and please take care of the saints. Holy Maiden of the Spirit Hall. You are welcome, the gang leader, they all serve my god. Chat group members can go to the world where other members are by sending red envelopes. It's easy to come back. The chat group has a small function. As long as you set your own world as the initial point in advance, and then send yourself a red envelope in other worlds, you can return to the preset initial point and return to the original world. However, only one such initial point can be set. Very restrictive. And no one has tried it, so I don't know if it can be returned. So, no one has tried this feature before. Because of the risk. Certainly, during the mission release in the chat group, as long as they accept the mission, they can go to the Wind and Cloud world where the mission is located through the chat group, without the need to send red envelopes. But everyone is a believer of Hong Meng. The evil gods from outside the realm are in the world of wind and clouds, and there is a domineering territory. This is the unspoken rule by default. So, without Shangba's invitation, they would not rashly accept the mission and go to Shangba's world. Same. If there are foreign evil gods in their world, other members of the group cannot come without their consent. The Dog of the Gods. Sister Bai, do you want to come to my world to play? It's very fun, one-stop service, guaranteed to make Sister Bai linger and be happy. Seeing that Bibi Dong was going to the world of Shangba, Wang Hao asked. The head of Washan. Dog, I suspect that you are driving and have bad intentions. The second head of Tushan. I suspect that the dog is digging the corner of my god. Squint smile. JPG. God's dog. You are talking nonsense. I don't have it. I'm not. I am God's most loyal dog. Black belly. The worst. Never love again. Wang Hao was so eager to survive at this moment that he quickly denied it. He was apprehensive. Wouldn't it be written down by the gods? Black belly. Pit me. Hong Meng chuckled in his heart. Naturally he would not be so boring. Any water in the group, just blowing. As long as it didn't shake his beliefs or offend his divine might, he wouldn't care. If it's too serious, all the staff dare not speak. Trembling. What's the point of that? Certainly, if the dog really wants to dig his corner, he will let the dog know what a god is like a prison. But the dog certainly doesn't have that guts. Holy Maiden of Spirit Hall, let's talk about it later. If I need help, I can consider it. She is still busy preaching, so how can she have time to play? Certainly, if it was for God's sake, she could spare time but help Wang Hao. Sect Master Yun Lan. Mightier than elder sister, she is indeed the most devout believer of my god. Admiration. JPG. The second master of Tushan. Mightier than my sister, I am indeed the most devout believer of my god. Admiration. JPG. Descendants of the Dian royal family. A cub that was most favored by God passed by quietly. JPG. The head of Washan. Seeing everyone competing for favor in the group, Shangba smiled disdainfully. What God likes is definitely a capable cub like him who speaks less, does more, and does practical things. The Overlord of the World Association. Do you know the characteristics of this extraterritorial demon? How can I find him quickly? God's dog. If the extraterritorial demons are the latter ones I said, they can't be seen from the outside. However, since the group has sent a mission, it means that the extraterritorial demons are definitely not simple, and they are definitely not unknown people. Even if he is a nameless person now, he will rise up very quickly and shake the world. As long as you find someone who was originally unknown, but suddenly rises and becomes stronger, in all likelihood, he is an alien demon. Extraterritorial demons are just like the pig's feet of destiny that I gave you popular science before, such as Xiao Yan in Sister Yun's world, Tang San in Biji's world, Feng Yan in the world of Shang Gangju. Once you find out, you must hit the strongest force and give him a thunderous blow, and you must not give him any breathing room. Otherwise, 30 years Hedong, 30 years Hexi. Yunlin sect is destroyed. The Hall of Souls is destroyed. The world will perish. Sect Master Yunlan. After I sacrifice to my god and gain powerful power, I will destroy Xiao Yan, and I will never repeat the same mistakes. The second head of Tu Shan. Sister Yun is mighty, support you. Holy Maiden of Spirit Hall. You can find me if you need it. Sect Master Yun Lan. Thank you Sister Bai. The head of Washan. Tang San. My mother is gone. Can I still be born? God's dog. Better than sister, broken sound. The second head of Tu Shan. Mightier than elder sister. Solve the problem directly from the root cause, the little eyes of admiration. JPG. The Overlord of the World Association. As long as this old man discovers the demons from outside the realm, he will definitely be killed immediately by thunder, without giving him any chance. At the same time, Shangba instructed his subordinates Qin Shuang, Duan Lang and others to search the whole world for extraterritorial demons according to the characteristics of Wang Hao. Today, the World Association has controlled 99% of the world's territory. As long as the demons from outside the realm show up, they will never escape his eyes. The head of Washan. The gang leader is domineering. God's dog. At World Club Overlord, by the way, the male gang leader, most of the extraterritorial demons are very young, very handsome, very strong, and very good at pretending. The Overlord of the World Association. I understand, thank you. Recommendation plus favorites equals add more. Beautiful and handsome brothers and sisters, give some strength, let the little three explode the liver. Wind and Cloud World. The gate of the Imperial City. Shangba came with the people of the Hongmeng sect, and his consciousness sank into the chat group. The Overlord of the World Association. When people go to the Imperial City, the demons haven't seen it yet. I will broadcast live to everyone and rule the world, and come to the Supreme. After knowing the news of the extraterritorial demons, he instructed his subordinates to look for them, but unfortunately he did not find anyone who matched the extraterritorial demons. God's dog. The hero of the gang is domineering. There is no need to rush things out of the outside world. If he doesn't jump out by himself, it will be difficult for outsiders to find it. However, even if the demons from outside the territory are very capable, they will definitely make a noise in the rivers and lakes. The heroic gang leader just wait patiently. The Lord of Qin. I seem to smell a big villain. In this case, I am afraid that it will not be smooth for the heroic hegemon to ascend to the supreme position. God's dog. The world in which the gang leader lives is a cartoon version. Emperor Wuchang also has a brother, Emperor Wenlong. Emperor Wenlong has learned Wu Wudi's true Xuanwu skills, and his strength is good. He will definitely jump out and stop it. But with the current cultivation level of the gang leader, let alone Emperor Wenlong, even if Wu Wudi comes, he is not an opponent. The Overlord of the World Association. Yes, if they dare to appear, they will just bring blood to my god. Enter the city. Shangba started the live broadcast, waved his hand, and entered the Imperial City with his masters and army. Is Shangba going to rule the world? Not bad. Hong Meng, who has been paying attention to the group news, nodded secretly. It seems to have seen a large wave of belief power coming. The more important thing is to unify the world and hold national sacrifices. Hongmeng can get the power of a country's luck. The power of luck is incomparably mysterious and infinitely useful. Even the saints of the prehistoric world will fight each other in order to compete for the power of luck, and even their brothers will turn against each other. It can be seen that the power of luck is strong. The daughter of destiny or the daughter of great fortune, when sacrificed, their power of fortune is increased and becomes the power of the source. This is actually just a very, very small part of their own power of luck. Most of their power of luck has been transformed into their own heritage after the increase. This is also the fundamental reason why they can become heroes or holy spirits after amplification. If they are ordinary beauties, even if they are boosted, it is difficult to become heroes or holy spirits, unless they are fanatics. The mad believers are extremely devout in their beliefs, and they will be blessed by the power of the gods of faith, and they can naturally transform into heroes or holy spirits. While holding a national festival, it is impossible for a country to increase the power of luck and become a hero or a holy spirit. Therefore, it is possible to increase into a huge source of power, and more likely to increase into other more precious existences. Hong Meng had some expectations in his heart, although Ying Zheng worshipped once. But the scale of that time was average, and the Qin state did not rule the world, so it did not meet the requirements of the state sacrifice. Palace, Golden Palace. Emperor Wuchang sat on the dragon chair with a gloomy face, his eyes glanced at the civil and military officials below, and his heart was even more angry. Now that the tyrants are under the city, are you talking? Could it be that you can't even deal with a Zhonghu force? What's the use of raising you? Emperor Wuchang pointed at each and every one of the civil and military, and roared angrily. However, the civil and military officials did not seem to see or hear. Shangba is destiny, and there is a great god behind him. They are just mere mortals, how can they fight against gods? 89 out of 10 of them had believed in the god of Hongmeng and had taken refuge in Shangba. In this silent and depressing atmosphere, the Minister of War suddenly raised his head and said solemnly, Your Majesty, the leader is destiny, and is the spokesperson of my god in the world. If your Majesty knows the time of day and knows how to advance and retreat, you should abdicate and let the sages inherit the supreme position. You scoundrel! Emperor Wuchang was furious, and his eyes were fixed on the Minister of War. This was a blatant betrayal. Come here, drag this scoundrel and thief down for me, 5 horses. 5 horses to divide the body. The Emperor Wuchang roared like an angry lion. However, there was no movement in the main hall, and no soldiers came in outside. Also ask your Majesty to abdicate and let the sages. Also ask your Majesty to abdicate and let the sages. Instead, Manchao Wenwu stood up at the same time and said neatly. Do you all want to rebel? Emperor Wuchang's face was pale, his body was shaky, and he almost fell to the ground. He knew that many people took refuge in Shangba. But I never imagined that the civil and military affairs of the Manchu dynasty would all turn to Shangba. Your Majesty, we didn't rebel. But the leader is the destiny. Destiny cannot be violated. The Minister of Civil and Military Affairs seemed to have made an appointment, Chi said. Haha, what the minister said is very true. Emperor Wuchang, who knows the current affairs, is a handsome man. You should know that under the glory of my god, your situation is gone. A burst of laughter came from outside the hall. Shangba took Wen Cho, Qin Shuang, Duan Lang, Du Yifang, Juggernaut and other masters, walking in a long march, as if no one else was there. Hero, Emperor Wuchang's body trembling, with fear in his eyes. This time, the majesty of the tyrants can't be added. The world is big and small. Shun Zhechang, rebels die. Fierce, no one can stop Shangba's footsteps. The country is picturesque, vast and heavy, you can't bear it. Shangba stared at Emperor Wuchang with a fierce and unquestionable look, and said, Supreme, abdicate. As he spoke, a ferocious and terrifying energy permeated from Shangba. Shivering towards Chinese Wu, as if being stared at by a tiger. The Emperor Wuchang faced the tyrant, his calf trembling. If he hadn't leaned on the dragon chair, he would have fallen and slumped to the ground. What do you want to do? Emperor Wuchang's face was as pale as paper, and he pointed at Shangba with trembling fingers. I just saw that you are too tired, Supreme, and I want to help you take care of this wonderful country. Shangba smiled slightly and said in a deep voice. Emperor Wuchang's face was ashen. Help me take care of this great country. Would you mind saying that? Really shameless. Hero. At this moment, a steady and heavy voice sounded from the back of the Golden Palace, trembling towards Wen Wu's body, as if thinking of something. Emperor Wuchang's originally frightened eyes became calm, as if he saw a life-saving straw, and he was ecstatic. Emperor Wenlong, you really came. Shangba raised his head and saw an imposing old man in a dragon robe walking out from the screen behind the Golden Palace. Who else is Emperor Wenlong? Shangba was not surprised by the appearance of Emperor Wenlong. He looked at Emperor Wenlong and said domineeringly, Do you think you can stop this seat? Shangba, you are indeed amazing. You have been promoted to the peak of heaven and man in a short period of time. I am indeed not your opponent, but someone can stop you. While speaking, nearly 10 people walked out behind Emperor Wenlong. They have different temperaments, and their outfits are even more bizarre. But there is one common feature. The breath is like a sea. His eyes were like knives and swords. Incredibly powerful. Wu Wudi, Emperor Shishan, Immortal God, Xiao San Xiao, the first evil emperor, the second sword emperor, the third pig emperor. Oh, it's interesting, all of them are hidden masters. I didn't expect to be here today, but it saves me from having to look for them one by one in the future. Shangba was stunned for a moment, then he didn't care and smiled. Shangba, you actually know us. Di Shishan wore an ice sculpture mask and said in surprise, Did that evil god tell you? Although he likes to play in the world, there are not many people who know him in the world, and there is absolutely no such person as Shangba. There are no subordinates of the tyrant. There is also the immortal god of immortality. This guy likes to have fun in his own search for the gods, and he basically does not appear in front of people. Even fewer people knew him. Xiao Sanjiao and Wu Wudi are basically hidden from the world. Almost no one in the arena knows them. Unexpectedly, Shangba knew them all. Originally, I wanted to give you a chance to believe in my god, but you dare to blaspheme the great god of Hongmeng, then you all make sacrifices to my god. Hearing that everyone called God the evil god, Shangba's expression turned cold, and his killing intent was rampant. HMPH, I want to see how strong the power bestowed by you, the heretic god, can match my true basalt skills. Wu Wuti snorted coldly. He was extremely burly, with thick black hair, a kind of invincible aura that looked down on the world, and I was invincible. In his eyes, the original tyrant was nothing but an ant. Even if there is a peak cultivation base of heaven and man, it is a gift from the evil god. For this kind of heaven and man who relies on external forces to achieve success, he can't look down on it. The mere mortals have no idea how great my god is. The domineering momentum erupted, the long hair was flying, and the domineering was full. Okay, no one has dared to be so arrogant in front of me, Wu Wuti, for a long time. Let me see how strong the power of the heretic god you have acquired. Wu Wuti's aura suddenly rose, like a mountain rising from the ground. Boom! The dome of the golden palace shattered instantly, revealing a large hole. The bright sunlight shone down from the sky and fell on Wu Wuti, setting him off like an undefeated god of war. In the chat group, the eyes of all members of the group glowed. The descendant of the Dayan royal family. This Wu Wuti is so terrifying, no wonder he dares to name himself Wuti. There is an invincible potential. Ordinary warriors are in front of him, let alone fighting. I'm afraid they don't even have the courage to take action. The head of Washan, Wu Wuti, created his own Xuanwuzhen Gong in the top 10 martial arts. After decades of cultivation, he was able to defeat an old monster like Di Shishan. He can be called a martial arts genius, but unfortunately his path has narrowed. The second head of Tushan. Yeah, it's a pity, but it's hard for a person like him to believe in my god, blaspheme my god, and it's hard to atone for his sins. Descendants of the royal family of Dayan. Almost all the hidden masters in the world of wind and clouds are here. As long as the heroic gang masters are wiped out, the world will be invincible. God's dog. Wu Wuti, laugh 3 laughs. These people are not easy to deal with. Can the master of the gang do it? Lord of Qin. How can a man say no? The overlord of the World Association. Today, I will show you the great desolate prisoners' fingers given by my god, and exterminate these heretics. Cloud Lanzong Sect Master. Inexplicably looking forward to it. JPG. God's dog. Shangba, evildoer, look at my finger in the great wilderness. One finger confines the world. Wind and Cloud World. Imperial City. The Golden Palace was turned into ruins under the momentum of many masters of heaven and man, and the figure of the tyrant flew up and landed on the top of a palace. Experts such as Di Shishan, Xiao Sanjiao, and the god of immortality followed closely, and the terrifying breaths of heaven and man rushed straight to Xiaohan. I'm invincible in my life, and I won't be hurt in 100 battles. Today, I'll test whether the evil god power you have acquired can defeat me. Wu Wuti's eyes lit up with raging battle flames, and the fighting spirit was high, as if a sleeping dragon had woken up, fighting the heavens and the earth. How lonely it is to be invincible. He defeated Di Shishan, defeated the immortal god of immortality, defeated countless masters, and never lost a single one. Looking at the world, only Xiao Sanjiao can barely be his opponent. But Xiao Sanjiao never fought with him, which made him feel very boring. Now from Shangba, he felt a slight threat, and the fighting spirit that had been dormant for many years erupted like a volcanic eruption. He knew that if he killed Shangba, he would probably attract the evil god. But his path is the path of invincibility. Fearless. I am invincible. He is not afraid of even evil spirits. Most die. This is the home of every warrior. In his body, the true power of Xuanwu was running, and the mighty power of true essence turned into a beam of light soaring into the sky, smashing the white clouds in the sky. A terrifying aura filled the air, the surrounding palaces rumbled and turned into debris, and countless palace maids and guards screamed in horror. Di Shishan, Xiao Sanxiao, the god of immortality, and others did not do anything. In fact, they didn't want to offend Shangba, or more precisely, they didn't want to offend that terrifying evil god. But the tyrants dominate the world, and sooner or later they will do something to them. They are all big bosses, and they don't want to surrender to Shangba, and they don't want to be a jerk to the evil god. Therefore, they can only unite and kill the bully. In their opinion, that evil god may not be able to come in real form. If you kill Shangba, the world may be able to return to the right track. They can continue to dominate the world, play the world, and be happy. It would be best if Wu Wuti could kill Shangba. Even if the evil spirits came, Wu Wuti would be in front of him to stop the disaster. Even if Wu Wuti is not a tyrannical opponent, he can also test out the depth of his tyrant and make them more confident in their shots. For these, Wu Wuti naturally understands. But it doesn't matter. All he needs is an opponent. Although he disdained Shangba's cultivation base by relying on the reward of the evil god, he did not underestimate Shangba's strength. Therefore, as soon as he made a move, it was a killer move. Kill all the 10 directions. Unique swordsmanship. Ask the heavens shooting. Destiny swordsmanship. Daiji spectrum. Tiger roaring stick collection. Shanhai Quan Jing. Xuanwu God Palm. Strong legs. Yuanrong Jinji. Oracle dragon claw. And other top 10 martial arts merged into one lore. In an instant, 10 phantoms of terrifying divine weapons appeared beside him, namely knives, spears, swords, halberds, sticks, fist gloves, animal claws, bronze boots, golden fingers, bone claws and other 10 divine weapons. Each of these 10 divine soldiers was as big as a mountain, and all of them exuded a terrifying coercion that wiped out everything. The entire time and space of the palace, under the influence of these 10 divine soldiers, seemed to be stagnant, and the flying dust stayed in the air. Boom boom boom. 10 huge phantoms of divine soldiers pierced through the void at the same time, with the terrifying murderous intent of lore to kill everything, roaring away towards the tyrants. If I sacrifice Wu Wuti with blood, I can get at least 10 avenues. Hong Meng watched Wu Wuti through the live broadcast, and looked forward to Xiangba's next sacrifice in his heart. As long as there are enough Dao, he believes that he will soon be able to understand by analogy and comprehend the Dao of Xian Hongmeng. Then, he can use the Tao of Hongmeng as the foundation, condense the Godhead, and become a true God. Almost. Hong Meng's eyes flickered, full of anticipation. He continued to follow Xiangba's live broadcast. The Great Wilderness Prisoner's Finger. Xiangba stood with his hands behind his back, facing Wu Wuti's overwhelming attack. His expression did not fluctuate in the slightest. He stretched out his right hand, facing Wu Wuti a little in the air. One finger confines the world. The endless spiritual energy and the law are intertwined, and a giant finger as big as a mountain is condensed in the void. The giant finger is like an ancient mountain, and every fingerprint is clearly visible, with the terrifying aura of suppressing the 8 wildernesses and imprisoning the world. The void freezes, and the strong suffocate. Wu Wuti's 10 huge phantoms of divine soldiers quickly disintegrated under these giant fingers and turned into nothingness. So strong. Wu Wuti's eyes narrowed, and his fighting spirit became more and more high, but he was not afraid at all. Xuanwu Zhengong is running, and the whole body's skills are gathered. Kill all the 10 directions. He turned into 10 figures at once, and each of them performed a unique move from his top 10 martial arts. A terrifying aura filled the world, as if 10 Wu Wuti were using their ultimate move at the same time. Once this move is used, it will exhaust all the power of the whole body. So, until the last moment, Wu Wuti will not use it. However, the power of this move is very terrifying, and its power can be imagined. No. However, Xiangba remained unmoved, and poked his second finger at Wu Wuti. 2 fingers break mountains and rivers. The terrifying huge fingers annihilated Wu Wuti's ultimate move as if crushing the bubbles, and poked directly on Wu Wuti's body. Puff! A mouthful of blood spurted out, and Wu Wuti was stabbed into the ground, leaving only a bottomless smooth black hole. Although they couldn't see the situation in the cave, many celestial warriors were keenly aware, and they could clearly sense that Wu Wuti's life breath quickly dissipated. Hiss. Di Shishan, Xiao Sanxiao, and the god of immortality took a deep breath in their hearts. Unexpectedly, the invincible Wu Wuti was stabbed to death by Xiangba's 2 fingers. Especially Di Shishan and others, they have experienced Wu Wuti's true black martial arts, the power and domineering of the top 10 martial arts. They are not opponents at all. However, such a terrifying powerhouse was actually killed by Xiangba's 2 fingers. If Xiangba shoots at them, wouldn't they be able to kill them with 1 finger? In the chat group, all the friends were stunned. Although the strength of Xiangba was not small compared to Bibi Dong. But the power displayed is not small. In the group, I am afraid that it is Bibi Dong and Yun Yun who can overwhelm him. Even Yun Yun's Duhuang cultivation might not be able to beat the tyrant. God's dog. The heroic gang leader is mighty, and the unique skills of another world are vividly displayed in the hands of the heroic gang leader. The second master of Tu Shan. It's amazing, I feel that my sister may not be an opponent. Sect Master Yun Lan. The strength of the gang leader is at least equivalent to the Do Emperor in our world, and it may even be comparable to the Do sect powerhouse. The overlord of the World Association. This old man's strength is nothing, it's all thanks to the gift of my god, and today I will use the unique skills bestowed by my god to eliminate these heretics. Xiangba took a bubble in the group, then withdrew his mind and looked at Di Shishan, Xiao Sanxiao and other strong people. Let's shoot together and kill him. Di Shishan's icy voice with fear sounded, and the cold air surged in the sky, and a strange human face with a mask of ice that was even bigger than a mountain appeared. That human face overlooked the world, like a god high above, and in the eyes on the ice mask, there was a murderous intent and indifference. Di Shishan claimed to be a god, playing the world, and never allowed others to be higher than him. Evil demons from outside the territory, everyone gets them and kills them. Xiao Sanxiao's originally kind face showed a icy coldness, as if an invisible shackle had been opened on his body, awakening a sleeping primordial beast. Roar. The roar of the ancient terrifying beast sounded like the roar of dragons and turtles. Behind Xiao Sanxiao suddenly appeared a phantom of a terrifying beast with a head and tail like a dragon, a body like a tortoise, and a golden body. This is the mythical beast, dragon turtle, like a mountain, carrying the Hichu Luoshu on its back. It seems to reveal the number of heaven and earth, evolve Taiji, understand astronomy, understand geography, and neutralize the human world. Xiao Sanxiao has swallowed the blood of the dragon turtle, so he has been able to live for more than 4,000 years. Part of the power of the dragon turtle is contained in his body, and it manifests at this moment, and the power is earth-shattering. The entire imperial city was trembling, and countless people were crawling on the ground, shivering. The strength of this old monster is very strong, but now that he has him, he is even more confident in dealing with the tyrants. Di Shishan was secretly horrified. He devoured the blood of the phoenix and lived for more than 2,000 years, but compared to the old monster Xiao Sanjiao, he was still far behind. The aura of the immortal god of immortality, the first evil emperor, the second sword emperor, and the third pig emperor also permeated the air, and they all pressed towards the tyrants. On Xiangba's side, only the juggernaut reached the realm of heaven and man under the grace of God, helping Xiangba stop Emperor Wenlong. The rest of the powerhouses all killed Xiangba. The battle is imminent. On the roof of a hall in the harem of the palace, a handsome young man with a sword and a pot of wine looked at Xiangba and the others with a playful look. However, I felt a little helpless. System, this tyrant has reached the pinnacle of heaven and man, and he has also obtained the heavenly finger of the great wilderness prisoner of the fantasy world, and 2 fingers wiped out Wu Wudi. I'm afraid they are not opponents. If I kill Xiangba, will the legendary evil god behind him jump out and slap me to death? The handsome young man asked with some concern. However, the system did not respond at all. Sao Ni Mabi, the dog system is not intelligent at all. The handsome young man was furious, and his mouth was fragrant. He could not wait to find out the system and smoke it 100 times, 100 times. It's a pity that the system doesn't respond, and he has no choice. Nothing can be done. He looked at the system panel again. Host, Yizan Age. 18 Cultivation. The ultimate in heaven and man technique. Taiku Supreme Secret Art Physique. Desolate Holy Body Awakening, Martial Arts. Sword Drawing, Invincible in All Directions, Chaotic Sky and 4 Musts, 10,000 Dao Senluo. Mission. Dominate the world. Go to the Supreme, complete the mission, and reward the ancient sacrament. The 4th shift is coming, the little 3 is bursting, and the climax is coming soon. Brothers and sisters, please recommend, ask for collection, and ask for tickets. Boom, boom. At this moment, the hidden masters in Fengyan world burst out with earth-shattering terrifying power. Wan Ren Chuan Yun. Di Shishan's huge face condensed in the sky roared angrily, the sky roared loudly, countless huge ice blades pierced through the clouds, and the overwhelming tyrants roared down. Each ice blade is more than 10 meters long. The entire land seemed to be covered by ice blades. Wandao Senluo. Xiao Sanjiao appeared thousands of phantoms of powerhouses all over his body. Every phantom is deducing the most exquisite and mysterious secret. Wandao Senluo is a combination of various martial arts classics he has seen in his life, and it is one of the most exquisite martial arts that he has studied in his life. This martial arts can accommodate a variety of different, and even mutually exclusive, martial arts for its own use. The key is the 8 gates: heaven, earth, odd, positive, yin, yang, birth, and death. When the sky and the hour meet, the 9 palaces on the earth's surface are transformed into 9 palaces. The odd road is dangerous and the 5 elements are in danger. The north wind is extremely northerly in Zhengshuo. The yin is like nothing in the morning. The yang is like a curtain of impoverishment. The life of the state is delayed, and the world is destroyed, and I am the king. The way of the world, inclusive of all things, can be integrated into a world-destroying force. It can also use thought as a blade to control and manipulate people's hearts, making them obey their words, and can transform illusions and disrupt the opponent's mind. And another unique skill created by him, the 4 unique skills, which can be called one of the strongest skills in the world of wind and clouds. Its power is earth-shattering and terrifying. The immortal god of immortality has a terrifying aura. His left hand turns into a sword, smashes the world, and his right turns into a sword, sweeping the universe. One sword, and 2 phantoms of several hundred meters turned into a cross, slashing straight down at Xiangba with the momentum of opening the sky and splitting the earth. The first evil emperor cast the magic knife. Magic aura. Magic runs. Magic slaughter. Dance of demons. Every blade of sword chi is sharp without casting, cutting gold and breaking jade. The sword chi swept the world, the earth was devastated, and the knife marks were crisscrossed. The second knife emperors sever love and seven musts. Heaven and earth are ruthless. It can turn anything in the world into a knife, which contains the knife meaning of hatred and love. Anger cut love. Knife breaks the end, burning hearts. The creation of the third pig emperor. Knife at will. Create at will. Create your heart with me. Creation is a knife. Knife is creation. Create the world. The overwhelming attack was like a river pouring down, and the terrifying sword chi ripped apart the sky and split the world. Domineering and imposing. The Sanyuan Immortal Sutra is running, the three forces of Feng Yunshuang are converging, and the tyrannical breath is shocking, like a god and a devil. He stretched out his right hand, and the three kinds of natural forces of heaven and earth condensed in his fingertips, showing the power of the great desolate prisoner's finger. One finger imprisoned, a finger fell, smashing the attacks of Xiao Sanxiao, Di Shishan and others. Everyone was shocked. A fear rose in my heart. Two fingers broke in mountains and rivers. Without stopping, Shangba's second finger fell. Dishan crazy thunder. Di Shishan's face changed greatly, the sacred heart art was overloaded, and purple and white lightning appeared in the sky. Countless purple and white thunderbolts roamed the sky, and the entire sky turned into a terrifying sea of thunder. Boom! Countless thick purple and white thunderbolts fell from the sky, bombarding one after another on the terrifying giant finger that was even bigger than the mountains dropped by the tyrant. 4 absolutes. Shaosun smiled with full firepower and displayed another unique skill he created. In an instant, the blood of the dragon and turtle in his body boiled, and the surface of the whole body highlighted black twisted meridians as thick as chopsticks, extremely hideous. The popularity of the whole person has skyrocketed, just like the ancient gods and demons have come to the world, fierce and powerful, suppressing the world. The 4 powers of wind, fire, thunder and lightning suddenly appeared in the void, and the 4 powers poured into Xiao Sanjiao's body. He single-handedly Mingyi Tianwo Liaoyuan. One-handed overlord was struck by thunder, and 5 thunders hit the top. With one foot on the stinging thunder fist, and the other on the 9 heavens Xuanfang, the whole person descended like lightning, bombarding wildly at the giant fingers that covered the sky. The thunder and lightning shook the sky, the thunder exploded, the hurricane whistled, and the flames of Brahma. The 4 forces of nature swept the heavens and the earth, intertwined with each other in the void. Thunder and lightning fuse, wind helps fire, and forms a terrifying and devastating attack. Tianji Moke Boundless, immortal god of immortality is not paddling at this moment, and has used his strongest trump card. Maha means extremely large. Maha infinite means infinite. The wind is impermanent, the cloud is impermanent, the wind and the cloud are combined, the impermanence is impermanent, and the power is infinite. He created the Tianji Maha Infinite, which explained the extreme yang side of the power of wind and clouds. His former wife, the demon master, Bu. By Susan, based on his Tianji Moke Infinite, he also created an earth-level Moke Infinite, explaining the yin side of the power of the wind and cloud. If the two work together, there will be few rivals in the world. It's a pity that because his wife's talent is too good, he is afraid, so he poisoned his wife, causing the two to eventually become enemies. With the infinite display of Tianji Moke, the strength of the immortal god of immortality has skyrocketed dozens of times. The arrogance is monstrous, the breath is terrifying. Blocked the tyrant's finger. The weaker celestial warriors, such as the third pig emperor, used their milk-feeding strength. All kinds of desperate tricks were used, but in the face of absolute power, everything was futile and could not be stopped at all. Puff. Blood splattered, and the third pig emperor and other celestial warriors were killed by Shangba's finger. Obviously he is still a god, how can he be so strong? The remaining powerhouses such as Xiao Sanjiao, Di Shishan, and the immortal god were horrified. Before they could think about it, Shangba's third finger had already fallen. 3 fingers destroying life. Di Shishan's face changed greatly, and the sacred heart was cast for 4 eons. Boom. This finger fell, and the first evil emperor and the second sword emperor were killed by shock. Di Shishan and the god of immortality vomited blood and flew backwards. Shaosun smiled in embarrassment, bleeding from the corner of his mouth, obviously injured. No way, Shangba has obtained the unique skills of the heretic god, it is too strong, this seed is not an opponent at all, I will continue to do it. Di Shishan was frightened, wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, turned around and ran away. The immortal god fled in the opposite direction. Shaosun laughed and saw that all his companions had fled, and where dared to stay, he also rubbed oil on the soles of his feet and chose one direction to escape. Turtles know how to save their lives best. He didn't want to fight with Shangba. And I guess it can't be beat. Although he has lived for more than 4,000 years, he still does not want to die. The older a person is, the more afraid of death. The longer you live, the less you want to die. Want to escape. Shangba's three-element immortal scriptures revolved in his body, and all his infuriating energy gathered to unleash his strongest move. 4 fingers break the sky. Once pointed out, the sky changes color. It was as if the terrifying aura that shattered the sky enveloped the entire imperial city. A gust of cold air rushed from the bottom of Di Shishan's feet to the heavenly spirit cover. He couldn't stop this move. He will die. He doesn't want to die. No, I surrender. Di Shishan roared in fear. There is great terror between life and death. In the face of death, previous pride and dignity can be thrown away. However, Shangba sneered and ignored it. Want to surrender now? Late. The 4th finger slammed down. Do not. Di Shishan and the immortal god of immortality sounded shrill voices and were crushed to death by 1 finger. For more than 4,000 years, life will come to an end. Shaoxin smiled miserably, and the breath of life dissipated. The other side. With Sword 23, Juggernaut killed Emperor Wenlong at a huge cost. So far, all the celestial beings who came to commit the crime were all executed. Call. Shangba let out a sigh of turbidity, and he let out a long sigh of relief, and his eyes were full of excitement. Don't look at him killing nearly 10 peerless masters in Fengyan world with 1 hand. But he really has reached his limit. He is just the ultimate cultivation base of heaven and man, similar to Wu Wudi, Xiao Sanxiao, Di Shishan and others. And these people are either peerless geniuses or old antiques. Although all kinds of unique skills are limited by world rank and vision, they are equally terrifying. If it weren't for him cultivating the Sanyuan Immortal Sutra given by the gods, and gaining 10,000 years of skill, he would not be able to use the 4th finger of the Great Wilderness Prisoner's finger at all. If he can't use the 4th finger, he probably won't be able to leave a few people smiling. This battle, it can be called the most peak battle in his history. Snapped. Clap clap clap. At this moment, a burst of applause sounded slowly from a distance. Shangba raised his head. Look away. A handsome young man stepped forward. The young man has bright eyebrows and bright eyes. A sword and a wine gourd hang on his waist. Temperament like fairy. Flirtatious. A teenage girl killer. Shangba looked at the handsome young man who came, and compared the characteristics of the alien demons that the dogs in the group gave him popular science. Young. He looks handsome. Strong strength. I was not famous before. It's still very convincing. He found that the young man in front of him was very suitable. Extraterritorial demons. This thought suddenly popped out of Shangba's mind. Overjoyed. It's really hard to find a place to break through the iron shoes, and it takes no effort to get it. At the same time, Hong Meng and all the members of the chat group also saw the handsome young man walking in the air through the live broadcast. 10,000 Zudian chat group. God's dog. Look, the alien demon is here. The head of Washin. Dog, the other party just appeared and didn't speak. Are you so sure that the other party is a foreign demon? God's dog. Needless to say, even across the chat group, I can hear a rush of anger coming towards my face. Isn't it an alien demon, or who? The second head of Tushan. Goji, I think you are jealous of the handsome little brother. God's dog. Superficial. You women know that when you look at your looks are nothing but stinky skin, and your connotation is fundamental. What's more, do I need to be jealous? I'm the most handsome dog in this group, so I'm just a little bit worse than me. Handsome smile. JPG. Sect Master Yun Lan. You women. Holy Maiden of Spirit Hall. You women. God's dog. Sister Yun. Sister Bai. I was wrong. I didn't say you. I was talking about the black-bellied little fox. The second head of Tushan. Dog, do you still want lollipops? Threatening eyes. JPG. God's dog. Sister Rongrong. I was wrong. I'm shallow. I'm jealous. Humble dog. JPG. The head of Washin. As expected of a dog, integrity is broken. Dog's head saves life. JPG. Descendants of the royal family of Dian. As expected of a dog, the integrity is broken. The dog's head saves life. JPG. The dog of the god. The great man can bend and stretch, he can be big and small, he can rise and hide. When he is big, he exudes clouds, and when he is small, he shrinks in shape. When he rises, he soars between the 9 seclusions, and when he hides, he lurks in the waves. Feng, this spring is deep, take the time to change, and cross the 4 seas. The head of Washin. Isn't this the dragon that Cao Meng said? God's Guzi. Yes, Guzi, the dragon among people, is a man. The Lord of Qin. The few people who read less, don't lie to me, this doesn't seem to be the original sentence of Cao Meng. Being able to bend and stretch, to be big and small, to excite clouds and vomit fog, to shrink in shape, to change with time, and to change with time, is this serious? The descendant of the royal family of Dian, King Qin is worthy of being the king of Qin. There are 3,000 beauties in the harem, and they have driven more cars than we have ever seen. As expected, their eyes are like torches, and they can see so many mysteries at a glance. The head of Washin. Old driver, please bring me. God's dog. Ning Navexia is watching the screen. The overlord of the World Association. The old man will be absent for a while, and your wheels will overwhelm your face. Holy Maiden of Wuhun Hall. Head gang leader, foreign demons have appeared, you have to be careful, or it is better to solve them as soon as possible. In the land of my god's belief, how can foreign demons be rampant? The overlord of the World Association. It's more than what the saint said, this extraterritorial demon feels very dangerous to me, and it is much more terrifying than Wu Invincible and Xiaosanjiao. It is indeed an extraterritorial demon. Now my power consumption is huge, in order to prevent him from escaping, please come and help me then Saintus. Beijing Saintus directly receives the task in the group, just come through the group, there is no need to send red envelopes. Holy Maiden of Spirit Hall, okay. Ding, the Holy Maiden of Spirit Hall has received the task. The group notification sounded, and Bibi Dong from Duluo World thought about it, and a pure white light enveloped her body. Next moment, Bibi Dong quietly disappeared into the temple. Wind and Cloud World, Imperial City. Shangba looked at the handsome young man with an evil smile on the corner of his mouth, you are not from our world. Oh, why did the gang leader say this? Yi Zan was a little surprised. He didn't expect Shangba to say this in the first sentence. Could it be that the evil god behind him told him? It's not scientific. The system has already covered up the traces for him, even the evil god behind Shangba can't see it. Otherwise, this evil god is too magical, right? The system can't hide it from him. You don't need to know that. Shangba did not mention the existence of the chat group in Hongmeng, and stared at Yizan with majestic and cold eyes. This seat is very curious. What gave you the courage to jump out and deal with me after knowing that there is a great god behind this seat? Shangba stared at Yizan's eyes. Is it the system? You actually know the system. Yizan raised his brows. This time he was really surprised. It seems that Shangba knows a lot of things. Is the evil god behind him really that powerful? This moment, he hesitated. Originally, he didn't care too much about the evil god behind Shangba. With a system, he can quickly become stronger. As long as he captures the tyrant alive, he shouldn't attract the attention of the evil god, and then he will be able to complete the ancient holy body when he ascends to the position of supreme. Once the ancient sacred body is completed, an evil god who values the world of martial arts such as dominance will never be strong no matter how strong he is. Even if the opponent's real body comes, he can easily suppress it with the power of Xiaocheng's ancient sacred body. Not to mention, he still has a secret script, so even if he can't beat him, it's no problem to escape. He wants to complete the task, and he cannot avoid Shangba no matter what. That's why he ventured out to deal with the bully. It seems that you are the system owner. Suddenly, a cold and moving voice sounded beside Shangba. Bibi Dong came down dressed in the Xingqian immortal clothes, holding the Asura divine sword, her beautiful eyes staring at Yizan coldly. What a nice view. A look of surprise flashed in Yizan's eyes. The facial features are exquisite, the skin is better than snow, and the flawless pretty face has a hint of coldness that refuses people thousands of miles away. Like the snow lotus on top of the iceberg. Noble. Elegant. Tranquil. Holy. It's unforgettable, heartbroken, and slightly hard. But how did this woman appear? It seems to come out of nowhere. Yizan looked up and down at Bibi Dongfeng's graceful and curvaceous body, and thought to himself, could it be sent by the evil god? If this is the case, it means that the heretic god will not come easily, just to suppress them all. Not only can the task be completed, the ancient sacred body is small, and it can be refreshing. Boom. And just when Yizan couldn't wait to suppress Shangba and Bibi Dong already did it. Her divine power exploded in her body, and 20 dazzling soul rings rose from under her feet, looking at Yizan with cold eyes, her red lips slightly parted, time and space imprisoned. The two god-level soul rings burst into dazzling light, the power of time and space merged, and the space around Yizan instantly solidified. The wind stopped, cloud stopped, time freezes, space freezes. In the chat group, the group members were boiling. God's dog. Better than sister, broken sound. The Lord of Dakin. Beijing Saintus really doesn't talk much, so as soon as she comes, she will make a big move and take out all the means of pressing the bottom of the box. The second master of Tushan. There are many methods of extraterritorial demons. It is the safest to use the strongest trick directly than my sister. Descendants of the Dian royal family. Not bad. That's how the Shira god and the god of destruction were planted last time. Otherwise, with their strength, they would be able to fight against the Saintus. Nice job. Hong Meng praised in his heart. For the enemy, it is necessary to be ruthless and less talkative. The villains all die from talking too much. But the system traversers are not easy to deal with. Maybe there is some hidden means. Hong Meng watched the live broadcast carefully in the group, and both Shangba and Bibi Dong had his imprint of divine power in them. He can incarnate at any time now. Wind and Cloud World. Imperial City. Yizan's eyes were stunned. Who I am? Where am I? What should I do? That seems to be a spirit ring. There are still 20 twin spirits. Could it be Bibi Dong? How did she appear here? Yizan was full of question marks, feeling the confinement of time and space around him, and he struggled hard. Open it for me. Yizan roared, golden blood surging, and the space trembled. However, what disappointed him was that this time-space confinement was too strong. With the powerful power awakened by his ancient sacred body, he can't break free. Grass, system, what's going on? Yizan frantically greeted the ancestors of the 18th generation of the system. I gave him a stupid task of ascending to the throne before. Although the reward is very sweet, he is risking being shot to death by the evil god. If it wasn't for the mission, would he be able to come out and fight the bully? Today, the heretic god has not come, but such a terrifying woman has come. It seems that she is still from the Dulua world. What the hell is this? Ding! The arrival of an unknown force is detected, and the system will compensate the host for an experience card of the ancient sacred body, which is valid for 1 hour. The sound of the system made Yizan overjoyed, and he was finally able to turn around and sing. System Dad, I knew you wouldn't leave me alone. Yizan thought about it, and directly received the experience card of the ancient sacred body, but at this time he heard the voice of Shangba. It's really more powerful than the saint, and he captured this extraterritorial demon in one move. Is it really Bibi Dong? Yizan was shocked. He didn't expect that Bibi Dong from the Dulua world not only became a god, but also came to the Wind and Cloud world. He even got together with Shangba. Humble and small, ask for tickets online, beautiful and handsome little brothers and sisters, ask, recommendation, and collection. Without hesitation, Yizan immediately used the experience card, and a mighty power surged into his heart, making his heart swell. Is this the power of the desolate holy physique Xiaochang? It's so powerful. He twisted his neck, and the surrounding space was shattered, as if it was a piece of paper, and the confinement of time and space was like a tickling for him now. I'm invincible, Yizan roared in his heart, excited. A terrifying aura like a desolate beast emanated from his body and enveloped the entire imperial city in a blink of an eye. Wanling crawls, shivering. Shangba raised his head and looked at Yizan suddenly, his pupils shrank, and he lost his voice. You are so strong. Yizan had not shown his strength before. Although Shangba felt that he was very dangerous, he was imprisoned by Bibi Dong as soon as he saw him, thinking that he was like that. Now, with the outbreak of Yizan's strength, that breath is really terrifying. Even Bibi Dong's time-space confinement couldn't contain it. This is much more powerful than sheer a god. Bibi Dong raised her beautiful eyebrows. At this moment, she felt an extremely dangerous aura from Yizan. She is not an opponent. This extraterritorial demon is indeed terrifying. It seems to have suddenly become countless times stronger. Could this be the ability of that system? Are you Bibi Dong? Yizan twisted his neck. His body was dazzling, Shengxia was shining, like a young supreme, high-spirited, invincible. He stared at Bibi Dong's plump body, his eyes were fiery, and he secretly swallowed his saliva. Good. Bibi Dong's red lips parted lightly, cold and moving. Her body is full of splendor. Her body is very beautiful, her curves are amazing, like a lotus blossom, her air is ethereal, and she is noble and graceful. She is countless times more beautiful than the two-dimensional beauties he has seen in his previous life. Like a fairy who came out of the painting, her skin is like snow, smooth and delicate, her eyebrows are picturesque, and she is otherworldly. That delicate and perfect face, that stalwart mind, those long white legs. It's so beautiful. It's really Bibi Dong. Yizan's heart was shocked, and the vast and terrifying blood gushed out from his body, and he went straight to the bullfight, covering the sky and the sun, dyeing the whole sky golden. He stepped on the void. His whole body was surging. His body was dazzling, crystal clear like jade, and he walked step by step like an ancient god and demon. Every step, like a heavy hammer, slammed into Bibi Dong and Shangba's hearts, making them both tremble and tremble. Horrible, like a humanoid beast. In the chat group, all the group members were stunned. The head of Washan. Hey. Just twisting the neck, it shattered the time-space imprisonment of the Saintess, and the blood gushed out, vast and majestic, covering the world, unimaginable. Descendant of the Dian royal family, his power completely surpasses that of the Saintess, terrifying. The second head of Tu Shan. It's too terrifying. It's just a human-shaped beast. Are all foreign demons so terrifying? The Lord of Dakin. His blood turned out to be golden. Is this an extraterritorial demon? God's dog. This kind of extraterritorial demons is no different from humans, but the soul is from other worlds, and there are plugins such as systems. Not all extraterritorial demons' blood is golden. It may be caused by his special constitution or cultivation technique. Damn it, shouldn't this be the desolate holy body? The second master of Tushan. What is the ancient sacred body? Is it awesome? Lord of Qin. Curiosity +1. Head of Washan. Curiosity +1. God's dog. The desolate holy body is a special physique in a fantasy world. It is very powerful. The great desolation holy body is comparable to the ancient emperor of the fantasy world. He raised his hand and shattered the galaxy, and a drop of blood shattered the sun, moon, and stars. This physique is golden blood. It is famous for its powerful physical body and terrifying blood. It is an essential physique for most foreign demons to travel at home. Descendants of the Dayan royal family. Hey, it's so terrifying. Sect Master Yunlin. It's so terrifying. God's dog. Look at his terrifying blood. He definitely isn't just awakening. You are no match for elder sister and gang leader, so please pray to my God. Overlord of the World Association. I know. Is it a desolate holy body? Hong Meng smiled slightly, and sure enough, system traversers are not so easy to deal with. But he didn't care, watching the live broadcast of the chat group with great interest. Bibi Dong, why are you here? Yi Zan came in front of Bibi Dong. His blood pressure was so strong that Bibi Dong and Shangba couldn't move. He stared at Bibi Dong's perfect pretty face with fiery eyes, and was very curious in his heart. As for Shangba, he had to look straight at him. You do not need to know. Although Bibi Dong was restrained by Yi Zan's qi, she did not show any weakness, because she still had the supreme god of Hongmeng. You're a tough mouth. Yi Zan was stunned for a moment, then he smiled and said jokingly, wait until I pry your mouth open and see if you are still rude. Thinking about it, his blood boiled. Yi Zan instantly moved. Bibi Dong was the goddess in his previous life. After traveling to the world of wind and clouds, he fantasized about going to Duluo world. In the world, all the beauties are collected. Among them, Bibi Dong is listed first. Unexpectedly, before he went to Duluo world, Bibi Dong delivered it to his door. Send blood 1,000 miles. God does not take the blame. He reluctantly accepted it. Respectfully invite my God to come and destroy the demons from outside the territory. As he spoke, Shangba had already prayed sincerely. Prayer is just a ritual that represents respect for the gods. In fact, Shangba can summon a ray of divine power incarnation of Hongmeng in the imprint of the gods with just one thought. Even when it is extremely dangerous, and you will be killed without even thinking about it. The incarnation of divine power left by Hongmeng in the imprint of the gods will recover independently and protect their lives. As for Bibi Dong, even though she had used the divine power in the imprint of the gods once, she still had the imprint of Hongmeng in it. Also shelter her. It's just that they don't know, thinking that after the power in the mark of the gods is used once, it can only be used after it is restored. In fact, this is just a misunderstanding that Hongmeng gave them. It was to prevent them from relying too much on his power. He is God, not a babysitter. If there are no usage restrictions, believers will use them more often, and their fear of them will be weakened, which is not conducive to the growth of believers. And in the chat group, seeing this scene, all the group members held their breath. I can see my splendid figure again. Although it is only a ray of divine power incarnation. But equally exciting. I'm an extraterritorial demon. Yi Zan heard the words and his eyes fell on Shangba. As his voice fell, the imprint of the gods on Shangba's eyebrows flickered, and a ray of mysterious light flew out. He didn't stop. He wanted to see what kind of evil god was behind Shangba. They are all from outside the sky, and he himself is not a foreign evil god. What is the right to speak of him? The power of the ancient Eucharist Shaocheng gave him infinite confidence. He is not afraid. Instead, look forward to it. Suppressing an evil god should be able to obtain a lot of treasures, right? Yi Zan's ears moved slightly, and there were invisible fluctuations between heaven and earth. When I came, the world was not open, and the world was chaotic. When I came, all sentient beings were ignorant, and they drank blood. When I come, Dao Dao's ancient and magnificent divine voices sounded vaguely, as if the heavens and the earth were praising the arrival of a great being. The sky is falling, the ground gushing golden lotus. Purple chi is coming from the east. Anomalies abound. Yi Zan suddenly raised his head, and saw the starry sky swaying, the sky trembled, and the unparalleled terrifying pressure descended from the 9 heavens. If the Tianhe River pours in, people can only close their eyes in despair and wait for death to come. Shangba and Bibi Dong were overjoyed. Yizan's pressure on his body disappeared. With this pressure, they ignored Yizan, knelt down on the ground, and fell to the ground. Meet my god and welcome my god to come. Boom. There was a loud bang in the sky, the heavens and the earth trembled, and the stars swayed. The endless rhythm laws are intertwined. Manifestation of the great way. Tell the universe. Bright holy light. Shine the world. An indescribable stalwart figure appeared in the starry sky. His body is so huge that even the world can accommodate it. The universe galaxy revolves around him, and everything in the world is centered on him. All the creatures in the wind and cloud world raised their heads in amazement. I saw him standing in the starry sky, surrounded by chaotic energy, and his whole body was shining with mysterious and complicated divine light, hazy and indistinct. However, a divine name naturally emerged in the depths of their hearts. The god of Hongmong. Meet the great god of Hongmong. All living beings kneel and worship, and many people who have become believers of the god of Hongmong are even more enthusiastic, and their beliefs are countless times more pious. From ordinary believers to devout believers, and even devout believers into mad believers. Believers are divided into pan-believers, ordinary believers, devout believers and fanatics. Pan-believers. Worshipping when you see God, there is no fixed belief, it is useless. Ordinary believers. Have fixed beliefs, respect gods, and basically only worship gods of faith. Barely considered a believer of the gods. Devout believers. Be devout to the gods, actively study the teachings of the gods, listen carefully to the teachings of the gods, and pray to the gods on time every day. This is the believer who is valued by the gods. Crazy believers. The belief in the gods goes deep into the bone marrow and the soul, and can go through fire and water for the gods. Live for the gods, die for the gods, give everything for the gods. A loyal servant of the gods. Also the favorite believer of every god. Hongmong's spiritual thoughts shrouded the world, and with his appearance, almost everyone in the Fengyan world became his followers. Without paying too much attention, he looked at Yizan, who was full of energy and blood like a dragon. 4 eyes facing each other. Eyes collide. Yizan was full of vigor and fighting spirit. You evil god, how dare you pretend to be a ghost and fool the people, your sin is unforgivable. When the voice fell, Yizan rose into the air and landed on the opposite side of Hongmeng's incarnation. A terrifying golden blood shrouded the world, and the vision of the holy body showed behind him. There was a haze around him, isolated from the big world, like a creation demon, standing proudly. In this small world, he is a god, who opens up the world, looks down on all living beings, and is not bound. The vision is soaring to the sky. A green lotus plant has 3 leaves, explaining morality. 3 things are born, chaos and confusion. This is one of the most terrifying anomalies in the world that covers the sky, the chaos seed Qinglian. In the chat group, the dog exclaimed. All the members were shocked. Next moment, with a flick of the void, a mountain and river emerged. This is an ancient vision of splendid rivers and mountains. Before they were shocked, another yin and yang picture of life and death emerged. Yin embraces yang embraces yin, and life and death stand side by side. At last, a figure manifested, that was another Yizan, sitting high in the 9 heavens, surrounded by mysterious yellow energy, looking down between the heavens and the earth, like an immortal king born. This is the immortal King Lin Judian. All kinds of anomalies emerged, and all the members of the chat group were dazzled and shocked. Shangba and Bibi Dong were even more shocked, lamenting their own insignificance. They looked at the great god of Hongmong. The god of Hongmong has a majestic figure, and his eyes are like cosmic galaxies. No matter what power or terrifying vision Yizan shows, there is still no fluctuation. In the eyes of the gods, whether we are the foreign demons, I am afraid that they are no different from ants. At most, it is the difference between being strong or not. Shangba laughed at himself. Although Yizan's strength and vision are terrifying. But compared to the gods, they are still ants. Bibi Dong and all the members of the chat group also had no doubts. But Yizan didn't think so. He had never seen Hongmeng's strength. It's just an evil god, pretending to be awesome. Is there a strong body of his? He can kill with 1 punch. Slaughter god testifies. Right now, blood boiled in my heart. Power surges in the body. He stared at Hongmeng. His eyes were like torches, the vision behind him slowly turned, the sword intent rushed into the night, and the magnificent voice resounded throughout the world. Today, I, Yizan, set my mind for heaven and earth, slaughter gods for life and people, and create peace for the world. All the creatures raised their heads, and in the eyes of all the people, Yizan's body was dazzling, and the radiance was surging. He raised his right hand, held it empty, and shouted, "Sword come." The third shift is coming, the 3,600 character chapter. All the beautiful and handsome brothers and sisters, please recommend, please collect, humble and small, online tickets. Sword come. The grand sound resounded throughout the world. The sword around Yizan's waist turned into a stream of light, slashed out of its sheath, slashed through the sky for 100,000 miles, and then fell into his palm. Start with the sword. The mood changed. Sword chi rushed into the night. Like a peerless sword fairy, with an unparalleled celestial appearance and peerless elegance. He wants to ascend to the throne of the Supreme Being, complete the system tasks, and obtain the real Eucharistic completion, not the temporary experience card as it is now. So, he found a righteous name for himself. As long as he kills the evil god, he will be able to ascend to the position of the Supreme, won the support of all the people, and complete the system tasks. As for, who is the evil god and who is the devil, isn't it just to see whose fist is bigger? He won. Hong Meng is the evil god. He lost. Hong Meng is the true god. He is a demon, good and evil in the world, nothing more than that. History books are written by the victors. It's a sophomore. Hong Meng sneered in his heart, no nonsense, raised his hand and pointed at Yi Xuanyi. Move your finger, upside down. This finger, if not for the collapse of Joshan Mountain, its momentum is brilliant and unstoppable, like a meteor that destroys the heavens and the earth, falling from the sky. An unprecedented terror surged from the bottom of his heart. Yizan's whole body was cold, his sword intent collapsed, and he felt that the blood in his body would stagnate and solidify. The mentality that was originally inflated due to the skyrocketing power of obtaining the Eucharistic completion experience card was suddenly poured into a basin of cold water. My heart is cool. No, this scorpion is too terrifying to be able to match. Yizan's face changed greatly, and his eyes were full of horror and puzzlement. In a small world of wind and clouds, such a terrifying evil god would appear. This is fucking unscientific. Must escape. Yizan's fighting intentions were completely eliminated, endless fear filled his heart, and the powerful chi and blood surged out of his body, resisting the divine power that Hong Meng pressed on him. And as his terrifying power erupted, the space is broken. The world trembled. The power of the ancient sacred body Xiaocheng is too terrifying, far beyond the limit of the wind and cloud world. Immediately, the whole world, shaky. It was dark, howling and howling. As if the end had come. World destruction. God of Hongmeng bless. Great God of Hongmeng, your devout believers pray to you and protect your people. Countless creatures are afraid, prostrate on the ground. Prayer sincerely. Under this kind of power, the only thing they can do is to pray for the protection of the God of Hongmeng. Ding, a ray of faith was detected. This time, you will gain a million-fold increase, and you will gain a million ray of faith. Hong Meng suddenly felt the power of the vast faith gathered, and he was very happy. Yizan is really a good person. Even when he was about to die, he still did not forget to be a tool man and make contributions to him. The word is secret, let's go. With the explosion of power, Yizan finally resisted the divine might that suppressed him, and immediately cast the secret technique of speed that covers the world, the secret of writing characters. Created by Xiaoyao Tianzun, Xingzimi represents the ultimate in the world. Not only does it have the world's highest speed, but it can also jump up to 9 days and go down through 9 secluded places. It can go anywhere. In an instant, Yizan turned into an aurora, rushed towards the starry sky, and disappeared between heaven and earth. Escape. When Shangba and Bibi Dong saw this scene, their pupils shrank, and such a thought instinctively emerged in their hearts. However, the thought was thrown out of their minds in an instant. The greatness of the gods and the horror of the gods are not what they can imagine. Yizan absolutely could not escape, unless God deliberately let him go. When they looked at it, the figure of the great god was still the same, and there was no change. The giant finger that was poked at Yizan was still slowly going down without being affected in the slightest, as if he hadn't seen Yizan escape. What is my god doing? Shangba's eyes were full of puzzlement. Yizan had already escaped. Why did he press on the empty space? All the members of the chat group watching the live broadcast were equally puzzled. Very curious, like a cat tickling. But soon, a scene that shocked and unbelievable appeared for them. Puff. As if the sound of a sharp weapon piercing the body sounded, Hong Meng dropped his finger, and a person suddenly appeared in the empty space that had already escaped. The man's forehead just fell under Hong Meng's finger, and a finger pierced his forehead. This person is not Yizan who has already escaped. What's the matter? Shangba, Bibi Dong, and even all the members of the chat group were stunned. Didn't Yizan escape? They saw it with their own eyes. Why did he appear under the finger of the gods again, and was pressed to death by one finger? The fate is born and the fate is destroyed, return to the original and restore. Take it back, Hong. The majestic and grand voice of Meng sounded, and his divine power incarnate dissipated, turning into golden light spots all over the sky. As the golden light dots fell for 9 days, the vanished white clouds recondensed, and the broken space healed again. Everything is back to the way it was before. The incarnation of a great god, a powerful foreign demon, a finger beyond their understanding, seems to have never appeared. But Yi Zan's body reminded them that everything just now was true. Not a dream. All the creatures in the wind and cloud world are deeply touched, because they are full of vitality and power at this moment. The pain disappeared, the blind regained light, and the deaf heard the voice of the world again. These are the gifts of God. The grace of God is like the sea, and the power of God is like a prison. Thank God. The surging voice turned into stormy waves, rushing straight to Shaohan, shaking the sky, and finally condensed into a strong power of faith, pouring into the kingdom of Hongmeng. Hong Meng was very satisfied. This wave of sainthood was worth it. In the chat group, the head of Washan, the grace of God is like the sea, the power of God is like a prison, the mighty power of my God is really unimaginable, elusive, and worshipped in awe. The Lord of Qin, the widow has not yet understood how my God did it. Could it be that the foreign demon just used a trick to confuse us, but he didn't escape at all, and has been in the same place? Descendants of the Dian royal family, the mighty power of my God, how can I and other mortals imagine and spy on it? Worship. JPG. The head of Washan, Mr. Morong said very much. Although he is curious, how dare you spy on the mighty power of my God? Worship my God. JPG. God's dog. We all saw it just now. The extraterritorial demons should have used a number of speed supernatural powers to escape. It's useless for him to escape to the ends of the earth under the mighty power of my God. Sect Master Yun Lan. Young Master Wang, do you know what method my God uses? The second master of Tu Shan. Curious. JPG. God's dog. The power of my God is naturally not something I can guess. The second head of Tu Shan. Hey. Then what are you pretending to be a big-tailed wolf, you despise? JPG. God's dog. But I think of some similar means. For some strong people, the cause and effect have been determined when they shot. They shot because of it. Hit the enemy is fruit. This cause and effect has been set at the time of the shot. As long as there is no corresponding power to crack it, no matter where you flee to the ends of the earth, no matter where you hide, no matter what means you use, you will eventually be hit. In other words, as long as you don't have the strength to fight against it, when someone else makes a move, your result is already doomed. No matter how hard you struggle, it's useless. The head of Washan. Hey, is this the power of the strong? With a single point, no matter where you hide in the ends of the earth, you have to die. The Lord of Dakan. It's really terrifying after I've seen it for a long time. Sect Master Yun Lan. This is too terrifying. To be an enemy of such a strong man is really disappointing. Descendant of the royal family of Dian. My God is so terrifying, I once again recognized the power of my God, and once again refreshed my understanding of power. God's dog. Killing this extraterritorial demon is just the tip of the iceberg of my God, a little bit of insignificant power. Overlord of the World Association. My God is powerful, beyond imagination, the limit of my God, there is no limit. The second master of Tu Shan. At God's dog, that's not right, according to your cause and effect theory, then the extraterrestrial demons should be killed by my God's power in the outer world, right? God's dog. The look of contempt. JPG, experience it yourself. Holy Maiden of Soul Hall. The cause and effect theory that the prince said is just an analogy of a method he knows. My God's method is not this, and my God's method is not something we can spy on and understand. The second master of Tu Shan. Nowhere to be ashamed. JPG. Tu Shan Rongrong reacted immediately. Her face flushed. She didn't expect that she would ask such a stupid question. She is Tushan's smartest fox. Blame her for being so shocked. Disturbed looking at the popular science of the dog in the chat group, Hong Meng smiled slightly. Sure enough, reading more novels is still useful. The analogy of the dog is obviously the means of some powerful people in the fantasy world. His method just now was similar to what the dog said. As soon as he dropped his finger, Yi Zan was destined to be killed by him, and his position was destined. No matter where Yi Zan escaped, he would be moved to that location and then killed by him. Although he is only at the peak of the gods, he has mastered several ways of the peak of the gods, and there is even a way of life that touches the main god level. To know that the gods are comparable to the golden immortals. The main god is comparable to Tai Jinxian. According to the comparison of the shading system, Jinxian is equivalent to the fairy king, and Tai Jinxian is equivalent to the quasi-immortal emperor. His current strength is placed in the sky covering system, which is comparable to the existence of the immortal king giant. Don't say Yi Zan's holy body is small. It is the completion of the Eucharist. A ray of his divine power can easily kill him. Suddenly, a group reminder sounded in Hong Meng's mind. Suddenly, a group reminder sounded in Hong Meng's mind. Ding! Congratulations to the group leader for destroying the extraterritorial demons, completing the task, and rewarding 10,000 points. This is a reminder that only Hong Meng, the group leader, can hear. 10,000 points is better than nothing. Hong Meng didn't care, and then he revised the task completion notice and sent it to the group. Ding! Congratulations to the group members, the Overlord of the World Association and the Holy Maiden of Wuhun Temple, for completing the group task and rewarding the secret method, the secret of writing characters. The secret of lines and words was found in Yi Zan's soul when he killed Yi Zan. It happened to be rewarded to Xiangba and Bibi Dong. His role in this task is actually equivalent to the foreman. No matter which group member completes the task, the reward for the group task will be given to him in the end, and then he will send the reward to the group member. As for what to say, it all depends on his mind. After all, the tasks that the group members can see are all sent by him after modification. Of course, he has the final say in the reward. The line of script is very precious to ordinary warriors, but it is useless to him. The secret of writing characters is cultivated to the extreme, but it is only a matter of mastering the laws of time. All he has now is the Tao. However, the group members were excited. God's dog. Wow, congratulations to Sister Bai and the gang leader. This is one of the 9 secrets that cover the sky, a very terrifying secret technique. The supernatural power that the foreign demon turned into an aurora to escape from before should be the secret of writing. The Lord of Qin. Is it really that powerful? In front of my God, it doesn't seem to have any power. The dog of the gods. My God is the supreme god of Hongmeng, can it be compared? The head of Washan. Yes, but what kind of power does this line of script secrets have? Sect Master Yun Lan. Curiosity. JPG. The second master of Tushan. Curiosity +1. God's dog. The secret of this line of words is created by the heavenly venerate of the heavenly covering world, representing the ultimate in the world's actions, not only has the world's highest speed, but also can jump up 9 days, pass through 9 secluded places, you can go anywhere. This Xiaoyao Tianzun is the terrifying powerhouse who raised his hand to shatter the galaxy, the ancient emperor I told you before. The second head of Tushan. Wow, I shed tears of envy. God's dog. Isn't it saliva? The second head of Tushan. Go away. Holy Maiden of the Spirit Hall. Everyone works hard to preach for my God. Will there be fewer martial arts and martial arts? Descendants of the royal family of Dian. It's more than what the saint said, worship my God, and work hard to preach. The Lord of Dakan. It's more than what the saint said, worship my God, and work hard to preach. Overlord of the World Association. At Hongmeng God, thank my God, my great God, I want to sacrifice to the sky and become the emperor in 7 days, and the whole country to sacrifice to my God, I wonder if I can. Xiangba suddenly appeared, which directly made the group cold, and Yak was silent. All are silenced. It was the first time anyone ate Hanman. I have to say, the hero is really brave. After knowing that Hongmeng was the supreme god of Hongmeng, they did not dare to directly aid Hongmeng. Very consciously not to disturb, nor dare to disturb. Wind and Cloud World. In the palace. Xiangba was also nervous and worried. I don't know if God will blame it. But this time, there are many masters who need blood sacrifice, and there are foreign demons. Although their corpses can be frozen, it is not good for a long time. So, he had to bite the bullet and ask. The god of Hongmeng. Yes. The overlord of the World Association. Thanks to my God. Xiangba breathed a sigh of relief. The sacrificial law stipulates that the sacrificial ceremony should be performed once every 3 months, except for special circumstances or major events. Sacrifice a demon from outside the realm to the gods, and he ascends the throne as an emperor, which is considered a major event. So he dared to ask. With Hong Meng's consent, Xiangba immediately ordered his subordinates to prepare for the ceremony and the enthronement ceremony. On the other hand, Bibi Dong returned to the Duluo world, but when Xiangba became the emperor and made sacrifices to the gods, she would come over to offer sacrifices together. This is Xiangba's invitation. There is still a wave of benefits, so Bibi Dong naturally did not refuse. Although she has no credit this time, she also has hard work. In the chat group, seeing that Hongmeng was not talking, the group members became active again. The second master of Tushan. People are in Tushan, everything is ready, tomorrow's sacrifice, welcome to watch. God's dog. The black belly is on the line, tomorrow will live broadcast to present sister to preach. The second head of Tushan. Dog, please form a ball and leave in a mellow manner. Holy Maiden of Spirit Hall. Sister Rong is going to sacrifice, look forward to it. Sect Master Yun Lan. Looking forward to it. The second head of Tu Shan. How is Sister Yun getting ready? Sect Master Yunlin. Now that the Jama Empire and the Snake people have been subdued, and the Hongmeng sect has been established, Queen Medusa has seen the great power of my god and voluntarily sacrificed to my god. When the surrounding empires are subdued, she will sacrifice to my god. Exclamation mark quote. The second head of Tu Shan. Sister Yun is amazing. Quote dot. Fox Demon World. Tu Shan Rongrong stood on the top of the mountain behind Tu Shan. His eyes narrowed, his eyes are long, looking at the splendid rivers and mountains in front of hundreds of millions of miles. Tu Shan Hong Hong stood beside her, dressed in a red dress, graceful, slender and tall, with waist-length golden-orange hair, tied with a red bow with 2 bells hanging at the end of her hair. There are 2 red bows with 2 bells hanging at the waistbands on both sides of the dress. Her facial features are exquisite and flawless, her delicate and exquisite bare feet are stepping on the grass, and her feet are covered with golden bell rings. The world's wind and clouds are gathered in Tushan, and the experts from both the human and demon races are here, and I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse. Tu Shan's red eyes looked into the distance without emotion, and she could faintly feel a strong aura hidden around Tu Shan. There are ethnic masters. There are also demon masters. For this sacrifice, in order to spread the belief in God faster, they invited major forces of the human and demon clans to come to watch the ceremony. However, in today's era, people and demons are like fire and water. Even if Tushan Fox Demon, as a red line fairy, does not exclude the human race, it can renew the love of the past life for the lovers of the human race and the demon race, and has a special status in the human and demon races. But most people in the human race are still full of hostility because the Tushan Fox Demon is a demon clan. Therefore, most of the human race forces will ignore their invitations, and even many strong people will ignore them. But Tu Shan Rongrong borrowed Yu Buchan's set. In the invitation letter, she told the human and demon powers and the strong that they had found a stalwart power that could change the pattern of the world. This power can change the world and even transcend the cycle of life and death. As soon as the news came out, it was like a bomb thrown into deep water, causing thousands of waves. The powerhouses of the 2 clans, who were originally disdainful, could no longer sit still. Whether true or not, they must find out. If true, this power must be in one's own hands. All of a sudden, the clouds are moving in all directions. The southern poison emperor Wandu Qingtian, the Baishan demon emperor Shiquan, the western and western regions Sand Fox clan prince Fan Yunfei, the human race Wenqi Dao League major families, the Shanhua Zhuang Oriental spiritual clan. Experts from both the human and demon races came to Tushan either openly or secretly. Now, above the clouds outside Tushan, there is a group of people. The gang wore all sorts of weird masks. The head is a man with a funny and childish mask. The man is wearing a white coat, gray middle clothes, white underwear, and a flying sword on his feet. He is the contemporary descendant of the most powerful force in the human race, Yiki Dao League, known as the Sword of Heaven and Earth, the family of royal power, Wang Quan hegemony. Because he was unwilling to bear the identity of the heir to the royal family and spent his life, he secretly established an organization called Mask, with outstanding young people from other families, and acted outside under the code name, Mr. Sword. Boss, do you say that there is really the power to change the world and transcend the cycle of life and death in this world? Beside Wang Quan, a man wearing a white mask on half of his face stepped on the magic gourd and looked at Tu Shan from a distance, his eyes full of curiosity. He is Li Zizai, the eldest son of Li Zizai in Taoyuan, codenamed Wuding Daojun. He is unparalleled in the world. He nourishes the spirit of chaos with a natural treasure, a chaotic purple gold gourd. An indeterminate flying knife is bred in the air, which changes in 1,000 ways and has infinite wonderful uses. Humans and demons can be reincarnated, and if they continue their love relationship, it is unknown that there is a power to transcend the cycle of life and death in this world. Wang Quan hegemony's eyes are sharp, looking at the sky, his eyes are leisurely. This world is like wearing a mask. There are many secrets that we don't know, such as outside the circle. So, we set up the Mask organization to uncover the mask of this world. As for whether there is such a power, we will naturally see it tomorrow. That's what the boss said. On the other side, a man wearing a red and white mask agreed. He is Li Kujuo, the second son of the Li family in Taoyuan, codenamed Tianji Boy. If he published his own works in the Yiki Dao League, he would have become a generation of magic weapon masters long ago. But he has a very high self-esteem, is not a person he looks up to, and will never grant himself a magic weapon. Almost all the magic weapons of the members of the Mask organization came from him or were modified by him. Change the world, transcend the power of reincarnation of life and death. I really look forward to tomorrow coming soon. All the members of the Mask organization looked at Tushan with strong anticipation in their eyes. Not only them, but the most mysterious Alai kingdom also has a strong presence. The second young lady of Alaiguo, the sixth young lady, and even the third young master of Alaiguo, who can be called the ceiling of the world's combat power, also secretly paid attention to Tushan. Thanks. 10,000 rewards more will be added tomorrow. Thanks to all the beautiful and handsome little brothers and sisters for your strong support, and finally ask for a collection and recommendation. The next day, above the Tushan mountain, there are crowds of people, and strong people from both the human and demon races can be seen everywhere. Mainly the monsters. The strong human race did not trust Tushan, and most of them were at the foot of Tushan. As the sun rose, a strong individual from the family set foot on the Tushan mountain one after another. They had to figure out whether the power Tushan said was true. If true, they are absolutely not allowed to fall into the hands of any demon clan. With the arrival of the powerful human race, the already tense atmosphere became more tense and depressing. But because the kind of power Tushan said has not yet appeared, all the powerhouses restrained themselves and did not do anything. Foreseeable. Once that kind of power emerges, a war is bound to break out. Although many strong people are puzzled that Tushan discovered this kind of power, why should he tell them and invite them to come? Is there a conspiracy? But they have no choice. Don't be afraid of 10,000, just be afraid of what happens. They had to come. This is conspiracy. Under the leadership of the fox demon from Tushan, the powerful men and women came to a huge plain in the back mountain of Tushan, and a huge and majestic altar had been built in the center of the plain. What are you bringing us here for? There is only an altar here. Could it be that the power that Tushan fox demon said came from the altar? All the powerhouses stared at the altar, their eyes burning. It's so lively. Wang Quan hegemony took a mask to organize everyone to come to Tushan, and Li Kujuo beside him sensed the surrounding powerhouses and sighed, I don't know what Tushan fox demon thinks. If that kind of power really appears, and so many strong people gather, they are not afraid of destroying Tushan. This is the territory of the demon clan. The other party invited the powerful people from both the human and the demon clan to come over. The purpose is definitely not simple. We cannot take it lightly. A white-haired man with 3 eyes wearing a white mask said. His eyebrows and eyes flickered, vigilant and monitoring the quartet. He ranked second in mask, codenamed Sanji Shenjin, from the famous Tianyan Yang family, named Yang Yiden. Born with divine eyes, it can see into the movement of the enemy's energy veins, and predict the enemy's opportunities before recruiting. Moreover, he is gifted with extraordinary talents, and he has acquired the strengths of several families only by observation. He once defeated the domineering son of the Wen family, Master Wen, with the housekeeping skills of the No. 1 Parak Wen family in the Taoist sect. What are you afraid of? The strong men of the 2 clans are here, and the Tushan fox demon can still deal with all our strong men. A smart and playful voice sounded, but it was a girl in an orange coat and red underwear. The girl wearing a white mask, codenamed Fantasy Swordsman, is Wang Quanzui, the younger sister of Wang Quan's hegemony. She can hypnotize at the age of 3, master objects at the age of 6, and has a special talent for spiritual type spells. Sister Fantasy, don't be careless. Aokiwan was wearing a veil and wearing a light green off-shoulder dress, walking side by side with Wang Quanzui. Hearing the words at this moment, she couldn't help but warn. Her code name is Fairy Miaoyu, a mouthful of Jade Rui, Taoism is as I want. With the 8 treasure Jade Rui, she can block spells and follow her own chi. People come and fall, and treasures come and fall, and within 3 feet of the body, it is almost a forbidden area for other spiritual practitioners. I know. Wang Quanzui smiled playfully. Boss, look, people from Shinhashan village are here too. That's Miss Shenhualanzhuang, right? It's really rare. At this time, Li Kujuo pointed to the group of Dongfang family of Shinhashan Villa in the distance. The Dongfang aristocratic family is one of the 2 major families in the Yikidao alliance and the Wangquan family. With the pure yang flame of the demon-killing fire, it will shock the world. The people of the Eastern family are born with spiritual power, so they are also called the Eastern Spiritual Clan. Females of the Eastern spiritual race can pass on their spiritual power to their children if they voluntarily. If a foreigner married a woman from the Eastern spiritual race, he would be able to directly pass on the results of his cultivation to the next generation, which is equivalent to having the cornerstone for building a strong and prosperous family. Therefore, no matter where the women of the Eastern spiritual clan go, they will be robbed by unscrupulous means like a sought-after item. The eldest lady of Shanha Zhuang, Oriental Waiju, is naturally very eye-catching. It's just that Dongfang Waiju is usually low-key, and it is difficult for ordinary people to see it, making it seem very mysterious. The king's hegemony looked at it. The leader is a middle-aged man with extraordinary temperament, who is the owner of Shanha village and Dongfang Gaiyu, the helm of the Dongfang family. There were two people behind him, a man and a woman. The man was dressed in a yellow Taoist uniform and a red cloak. He looked good, and it was Jin Renfeng, the eldest disciple of Shanha Zhuang village. That is, the chief disciple of Dongfang Gaiyu. He is quite famous in the rivers and lakes, and can be regarded as a young Tianzhao in the Yiki Dao League and the king's hegemony. However, Wang Quan hegemony glanced at it and did not take it to heart. His eyes fell on the woman next to him. The woman is about 2 decades old, slim and beautiful. Wearing a long skirt mainly in goose yellow and bamboo green, with a white middle shirt inside, with a goose yellow straight skirt, the right collar is crossed, and a bamboo green coat is worn outside. She has long hair like a waterfall, looks beautiful, gentle, calm and intelligent, with delicate and beautiful facial features, a red divine fire mark on her forehead, and a pendant of the divine fire mark on her waist. Wang Quan, who has always had no feelings for women, saw the other party, and couldn't help but feel a sense of surprise in his heart, a feeling of heartbeat. Boss, how's it going? The eldest Miss Dongfang family is much more beautiful than rumored. Li Kujuo said with a smile in his wretched voice. Okay, I'm here today for business. Wang Quan hegemony remembered Dongfang Waiju, but his voice still did not fluctuate in the slightest. As for his face, with a funny childish mask, no expression at all. They followed the flow of people to the plain behind Tushan Mountain, only to see the two strong men and monsters occupying a position, guarding each other, and staring at each other. In the center of the plain is a towering jade altar. The powerful people of the Tushan Fox Demon clan guarded around the altar and prohibited anyone from approaching. It seems that the altar is the key. Wang Quan hegemony looked at the altar, and the altar was engraved with complex and mysterious lines. The second child in the mask, Yang Yishan, the god of three consciousness, opened his eyes and looked over. The others in the mask organization looked at Yang Yiden expectantly. After a moment, Yang Yiden retracted his gaze, shook his head and sighed. Those lines look mysterious and unpredictable, but after careful observation, they feel that they are unremarkable and can't find anything. It's really strange. It seems that we will only know when Tushan Fox Demon shows up. There is no surprise in the hegemony of Wang Quan. There are so many strong people here, and there are even Yang Yiden's fathers and grandparents. If they could find anything, they would have found it long ago. Coming. Suddenly, Li Zizai said. When everyone looked around, they saw Tu Shan Honghong, Tu Shan Yaya, and Tu Shan Rongrong walking slowly with everyone from Tu Shan. That's Tu Shan Honghong, one of the legendary 4 emperors on the monster power rankings, the king of Tushan Fox Demon. It's more than Tu Shan Honghong. It seems that the 4 emperors in the monsters have gathered today, which is really rare. The 2 foxes of the east and west, the emperor of the south and the emperor of the north. The king of the folded-eared fox in Tushan Mountain in the east is Tushan Honghong. The first master of the western regions, the prince of Sand Fox Fan Yunfei, alias Tugo. The poisonous emperor of the southern country is full of joy. Beishan demon emperor destroyed Tianjin Shikuan. Coming. With the appearance of Tu Shan Honghong, not only Wang Quan hegemony and other mask organization members trembled, but the eyes of the strong men and demons suddenly became sharp, and their eyes were cast over. The air becomes viscous. The atmosphere became oppressive. Everyone raised their hearts to their throats. Is there really a power that can change the world and transcend the cycle of life and death? Was also found by Tu Shan. Tu Shan Honghong, what is the power you are talking about that can change the world and transcend the cycle of life and death? Could it be this altar? A strong human race can't wait to jump out and ask. Swish swish. Everyone's hearts were hooked, and they all stared at Tu Shan Honghong. They all wanted to know if what Tu Shan Honghong said in the invitation letter was true. If there is such power, wouldn't it be invincible in the world? Certainly, many of the strong men and women who came today did not want to obtain this kind of power that is invincible in the world. Instead, I wonder if this power beyond the cycle of life and death can reverse life and death and resurrect the dead. If it is possible, so many powerful monsters or people in the fox demon world have an obsession in their hearts. They have one or more people or demons who really want to be resurrected. Later, City Master Mu Tian used a lie that he could resurrect the dead, which led to the death of each demon king, which is evident. Facing the gazes of the powerful men and women, Tu Shan Honghong's eyes did not fluctuate at all. She was slender, tall, domineering and indifferent. She walked slowly to the altar with her delicate jade feet bare, stood still, and turned around. The indifferent and dignified eyes looked at the powerful men who were eyeing around him, and the slow voice sounded calmly. I said that Tu Shan is absolutely right. Since I said that there is such power, it must have such power, and if you invite you to come, you will naturally see it. The indifferent eyes swept over the strong men of the two clans, the hot, the human and the demon, and Tu Shan Hong continued, since you all mentioned the altar, then I will talk about the altar. This altar is used to worship the great god of Hongmeng that I believe in Tushan. One of the purposes of inviting everyone here today is to observe the ceremony and sacrifice to the great god of Hongmeng. What? You asked us to watch the ceremony and worship the gods. What is the god of Hongmeng? I've never heard that Tu Shan still believes in God. Could it be that this god of Hongmeng is the one who masters the power to transcend the cycle of life and death? There was an uproar at the scene. Everyone boiled. Certainly. There is also no shortage of quick-witted people, who immediately link the power Tu Shan said with this so-called god of Hongmeng. Tu Shan suddenly said that he believed in gods. He also said that he has found the power to transcend the cycle of life and death. To say that there is no connection between the two, they would not believe it if they were killed. Tu Shan Hong, who is the god of Hongmeng you are talking about? This old man has lived for tens of thousands of years and has never heard the name of the god of Hongmeng. Could it be that the power you're talking about is in his hands? The person who spoke was a small old man with a short stature and gray hair. He has many pigtails on his head and wears an exaggerated red hat. The top rim of the hat has ornaments representing poison, and is decorated with a feather, and he holds a smoking bag in his hand. Don't look at how bad he looks, but no one dares to underestimate him. Even seeing him, a look of solemnity and fear appeared in the eyes of the strong men and women. He is one of the legendary 4 emperors on the rankings of the human monsters, combat power. The poisonous power is amazing, and the body of all poisons is famous all over the world, and is also known as the king of all poisons. Certainly, what everyone cares most about now is the god of Hongmeng in Tu Shanhong's mouth and the power that transcends the cycle of life and death. I don't know, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You are now doubting whether the god of Hongmeng really exists, and whether there is any conspiracy in Tushan. For these, I do not explain. Explained, you may not believe it. When I finish the sacrifice and let the god of Hongmeng manifest, all the doubts in your hearts will be understood. After speaking, Tu Shan Hong didn't care what everyone thought, and directly ordered, sacrifice. Yes, the master. One by one, the strong men of Tushan carried the 3 animals and 6 animals that had been prepared to the altar. Tu Shan Hong is really ready to sacrifice to the gods. Is there really a god of Hongmeng? Should we stop it? The crowd was talking. Some strong people are just around the corner. But no one stood up for the time being. Gun hit the bird. They are not stupid. What's more, they are also curious whether the god of Hongmeng can really appear, and whether it really has the kind of power that Tu Shan Hong said. Father, is there really a god in this world? Dongfang Weiju looked at the Tushan demons who were carrying the offerings back and forth, and turned to look at Dongfang Gaiyu. Junior sister, how can there be any god in this world? Even if there is, it is a false god. But powerful cultivators or monsters are just pretending to be ghosts. Jin Renfeng sneered, not believing the god Tu Shan Hong said at all. There are many secrets in this world, and I don't know if there is a god. Compared to God, I prefer that the god of Hongmeng is a powerful cultivator or monster. Dongfang Gaiyu pondered. We'll know just by looking at it. Brother, do you think there is really a god in this world? Wang Quanzui looked at the towering altar, and his playful and smart eyes were full of curiosity. Whether there is a god, I don't know, but the god of Hongmeng has successfully aroused my curiosity. In the eyes of Wang Quan hegemony, sword intent emerged, fierce and threatening. The other members of the mask organization also had their eyes burning. They are young, energetic and curious about the world. It is no exception to such a mysterious existence as the god of Hongmeng. Otherwise, they will not run out of the circle to death, and almost the entire army will be wiped out. Of the 10 members, only Wang Quan hegemony and Li Kujuo returned alive. But, Wang Quan hegemony also lost his sword heart, and Li Kujuo became disabled. Master Wang Quan, what should we do now? Do you want to stop it? The leaders and elders of the Yiki Dao League gathered together. They looked at Tu Shan Hong preparing to sacrifice to the gods, both curious and fearful. Whether the god of Hongmeng exists is still unknown, and it is not appropriate to conflict with Tushan now. What's more, many monsters want to know whether the god of Hongmeng exists, whether there is such a powerful power, they will not allow us to destroy. Let's watch the changes first, and see what this god of Hongmeng really is. The old master of Wang Quan said. Rational. The king's family master said it. Let's take a look at it first. The crowd joined in. In fact, they are also very curious. In this eerie atmosphere, offerings were placed on the altar piece by piece. However, when the doctor of the demon world, Kui Yuling of the Leech Demon King, his sister Kui Mingluan, and the forest guardian UT clan, UT Shah, walked up to the altar, the scene was boiling again. Isn't that Kui Yuling, the patriarch of the Leech Demon clan? How did she go to the altar? And that person who seems to be the UT clan? This is taking a living person. No, this is taking a living demon to sacrifice to a god. I don't think this is some evil god. When some monsters who had received Kui Yuling's kindness saw this scene, they were ready to move, and they had plans to rush to rescue Kui Yuling. It's just that the three of Kui Yuling didn't seem to be forced. They also saw other members of the Leech Demon clan, as well as the head of the UT clan and the housekeeper, Azu, the black donkey. Although Azu is a donkey, he is a powerful demon king, and the UT clan's battle strength is entirely supported by him. Under the Demon King, the great Demon King with the highest combat power. Ms. Quiyu, are you voluntary? If Tushan threatens you to sacrifice to the evil god, we are all powerful monsters today, you can say it, it is still not Tushan's turn to cover the sky and do whatever he wants. A demon king who had received the kindness of Kui Yuling stood up. They did not act rashly, but asked Kui Yuling. Kui Yuling is known as the doctor of the demon world. He has saved many monsters and has an extraordinary network of contacts. Not bad, Miss Quiyu, if you have any difficulties, you can tell me, we all support you. Count me in. And me. If it wasn't for Miss Quiyu's rescue, I would already be dead, and my life belongs to Miss Quiyu. Someone took the lead, and the monsters stood up one after another to express their support. Thank you for your kindness. The god of Hongmong is not the evil god that everyone thinks. It is not a bad thing for me to sacrifice to the gods. It is a chance. Please be safe. Kui Yuling was wearing a long green dress, her beautiful face was calm and indifferent, and she thanked the many monsters who expressed their support. Sister Miaoyu, there are still people in this world who voluntarily sacrifice themselves as sacrifices, right? Are they demons? Wang Quanzui's playful eyes looked at Kui Yuling, who was smiling, and his eyes were full of weirdness. What kind of magic power does this god of Hongmong have? Although Kui Yuling is called a doctor of the demon world, she is also a real demon king. It's not so easy to be deceived. This is really strange. With the strength of Kui Yuling and the UT clan in the demon world, it should be difficult for Tushan to threaten them with voluntary sacrifice. Aoki Yuan's beautiful eyes under the veil were equally puzzled. What happened in Tushan today is full of strangeness. All because of the god of Hongmong. I observed the facial expressions and eye movements of the three of Kui Yuling with my heavenly eyes, but I couldn't see any reluctance at all, nor did I find that they were controlled by magic. Yang Yiden, the god of three senses, withdrew his gaze and became more puzzled. Are they really willing to sacrifice to the god of Hongmong? He was born with divine eyes, and he could see into the movement of the enemy's energy veins. If the three of Kui Yuling were hit by a spell and their minds were controlled, they would definitely not be able to escape his divine eyes. I think they are stupid. Anyway, if it was me, I would not voluntarily sacrifice that god of Hongmong anyway. Wang Quan was drunk and heartless, said playfully. The other side, Dongfang Waiju's delicate and peaceful face was surprised. Father, can't you see anything unusual about them? There is no trace of magic. They are all normal, but there is no abnormality. It is the biggest abnormality. Dongfang Gaiyu's eyes were solemn. If Tushan had mastered this means of controlling people's hearts, it would be really terrifying. Are they really voluntary? Dongfang Waiju couldn't believe it, and secretly said in his heart, what kind of magic does this god of Hongmong or Tushan have to be able to offer sacrifices voluntarily to the jade spirit of the king of leech demons and the people of the UT clan? As the sacrifices were placed, Tushan Rongrong walked to the front of the altar under the astonished gazes of all the powerful men and women. Tushan Honghong and Tushan Yaya are one step behind. Who is she? Isn't Tushan Honghong presiding over this sacrifice? All the powerhouses were surprised. Today, Tushan Rongrong is not the second master of Tushan, the thousand-faced demon who is famous in the demon world, but an unknown little fox. Even her elder sister Tushan Yaya was not famous at all, and she was not the later leader of the Demon League, the king of Tushan Fox Demon. Ignoring everyone's surprise and doubts, Tushan Rongrong entered the chat group with a wisp of consciousness. Everyone, I'm starting to worship, everyone is welcome to watch. God's dog. Sahua welcomes. Holy Maiden of Spirit Hall. Looking forward. Lord of Chin. Looking forward to +1. With the group members bubbling, Tushan Rongrong started the live broadcast. Under the suspicious gazes of the group members and the powerful men and women, she prayed devoutly in front of the altar and said, the great god of Hongmong, you are the god of creation, the lord of creation, the creator and master of all things in the universe. Quote. 4 more. Closing parenthesis. 10,000 Zudian chat group. God's dog. Wow, I saw Sister Huxian and Miss Waiju. Watching the live broadcast is more enjoyable than watching the video. It's quiet and graceful, so beautiful. Drool. JPG. It's just that my iceberg goddess, Sister Yaya, is still a middle school girl, woohoo. The head of Washin. Dog, you have a lot of sisters. God's dog. That's right, all the beautiful ladies and sisters are my sisters. Look up at the starry sky at 40 or 50 degrees. JPG. Descendants of the Dayan royal family. That little old man with a cigarette bag is the Southern Kingdom's poison emperor Wandu Qingtian, it's really unbelievable. God's dog. It's a monster that can't be seen. The dog's head saves life. JPG. The master of Dakin. The strong men of the 2 clans and monsters gathered together, and the second master has done a good job in this wave. Holy Maiden of Wuhun Hall. My god is manifested, and the heroic appearance of the stalwart can directly convince them, let them fall at the feet of my god, and believe in my god. Sect Master Yun Lan. Although I have seen the video, I still can't help but want to laugh when I see the childish and funny mask of Wang Quan hegemony in the live broadcast. God's dog. Sister Yun's focus is really different, she is actually peeping at the handsome guy. The handsome photo of the dog. JPG. Overlord of the World Association. Dog, it's not your fault that you are ugly, but it's your fault that you are scary. The chat group became lively, and all the members of the group have seen the video of the Fox Demon Little Matchmaker, and they are no strangers to the characters in it. Although the characters in the real world and the video do not look exactly the same, they can also analyze who is who by looking at their dress and temperament. Hong Meng is also watching the live broadcast. After a moment, there were reminders in his mind. Ding, a ray of faith has been detected. This time, you will gain a 100,000-fold increase, and you will gain 100,000 ray of faith. Ding, your believers have sacrificed 3 animals, 6 animals and 5 grains to you. This time, you will get an increase of 10 million times. You will get 100 divine beasts, flying god pigs, 100 powerful demon cows, 100 wind-chasing antelopes, and 1 4-winged heavenly horse. 100 head, 100 golden retriever dogs, 100 Qingluan, a few god species of 5 grains. Ding, your believers have sacrificed a large number of demon cultivation books to you, and the overall increase has been increased by 1 billion times, and you have obtained the halo of demon civilization. Halo of Yao Dao civilization increase comprehension by 100 times, combat power by 100 times, weaken the damage of demon power, prevent all evils from invading, and follow all laws. Oh, the halo of demon civilization. Interesting. Hong Meng's eyes moved, and a dazzling and sacred halo flew over. There seemed to be countless monsters roaring and fighting, and everything was free. Seeing this halo is like seeing a magnificent epic of the demon clan, and the understanding of demon cultivation has skyrocketed countless times in an instant. The halo fell behind his head, forming 3 halos with the halo of martial arts civilization and the halo of immortal civilization. The halo slowly turned, like the rotation of the heavens. Bright holy light, godly mighty, majestic and sacred. Ding, your believers sacrifice the magic weapon, the dream recalling hammer, to you. This time, you will get a 100 million-fold increase, and you will get the low-grade main weapon, the soul destruction hammer. Soul hammer soul weapon, destroying the soul but not destroying the body, specializing in the soul. With a hammer blow, the body is intact, and the soul is annihilated. Whisper beep. No matter how hard your head is, you are afraid of a hammer. Ding, your believers sacrifice to you Kui Yuling and Kui Yu Mingluan, the daughters of great fortune, with their own 15 powers of fortune. This time, I got a billion-fold increase. You get the combination of legendary heroes Yuling Mingluan. Kui Yuling, Kui Yu Mingluan, you gain 15 billion source powers. You have obtained the way of god-level water. You have obtained the way of god-level poison. 2 ways of the gods, not bad. Hong Meng's eyes were full of smiles. Sisters Kui Yuling and Kui Yu Mingluan had grown together, and they both controlled 2 ways of the gods. And they are combined heroes, like one, the 2 join forces, and their strength skyrockets. It is not as simple as 1 + 1 = 2. Just like the wind and the cloud, the separation is not strong, the 2 of them work together to use the infinite Moko, their strength skyrockets 100 times, and they kill the boss in seconds. Ding, your believers sacrifice to you the goddess of luck, the forest guardian tree demon Yu Tiaoshan, with the magic weapon 7 treasures of wonderful tree bark, and the power of 10 paths of luck. This time, it has achieved a 2 billion-fold increase. You obtained the top-grade innate spirit root Qibao Janmu. Qibao Jianmu, the top-grade innate spiritual roots, rooted in the void, feed on the chaotic energy of the void, can stabilize the expansion of the kingdom of God, and transform the qi of the innate yimu. 1,000 years long. After 1,000 feet, it can bloom and bear fruit. 10,000 years of flowering, 10,000 years of fruit, 10,000 years of maturity. Every 30,000 years can produce 9 Qibao Yimu fruit. Qibao Yimu fruit has the effect of reviving the dead, taking one, can wash the marrow and cut the veins, reborn, comprehend the law of Yimu, and ascend to the throne. You have obtained the legendary hero and all things rejuvenate. Euedixia. You have obtained the top-grade innate spiritual treasure, the 7 treasures wonderful tree. 7 treasures wonderful tree, the top-grade congenital spiritual treasure, the pirated version of the sage's treasure in Hongwang Zhanti, can brush all things, and at the same time contains the way of life, which has the effect of resurrecting the dead. You gain 20 billion source powers. You have obtained the Tao of Itsuki at the peak of the gods. You get a forest low-profile version of Jianmu. Fuck. Buy one get one free forest. This is grass, wood, have you done it? Really? Nice job. Hong Meng was stunned, but he didn't expect that the biggest gain this time was actually Yu Tianxian, who was no weaker than Ah Yin. Not only did he get a top-grade innate spiritual root, but he also obtained a top-grade innate spiritual treasure, the 7 treasures wonderful tree. Its effect is more powerful than the genuine one. If it is not of insufficient grade, it will simply beat the genuine one. But Hong Meng didn't want to take it for himself. This is the treasure that Yu Tianxia brought with her, and the treasure that is in high demand is too chilling. He couldn't do such a shameful thing. What's more, he didn't pay attention to a high-grade congenital spiritual treasure at all. With the power of the source he has accumulated now, although it is impossible to create an innate treasure, it is not a problem to create a high-grade innate spiritual treasure. As for the innate spiritual treasures he created, the functional attributes and styles were completely determined by him. There is no need for the treasures under the rush. Even the innate treasure is the same. Not to mention, the hero and the Holy Spirit belong to him wholeheartedly. The treasure in their hands is not equal to him. Yuyan and Yuruo have both descended to the realm once, and this time I will let Azu go down, and at the same time, I will also manifest the Holy Spirit. After all, this time the harvest is so great. Hong Meng thought for a while and called out, Azu. The sound fell. Arjuna's graceful figure appeared, kneeling on the ground. Her curves were amazing, and her delicate voice sounded, meet my god. Hong Meng said, the lower realm Tushan Rongrong sacrifices, you take a trip on my behalf. Follow my divine law. Arjuna was overjoyed and responded quickly. Being able to do things for the gods is her greatest honor. She and Wang Yuyan ascended to the kingdom of God together, but as a result, Wang Yuyan went down to the realm once, and even the later Yuruo went there once. She didn't. She was a little apprehensive. Did God not like her? Now, finally, I waited for the opportunity to do things for God. The unease and apprehension in my heart finally subsided. Heart full of happiness and sweetness. Follow the channel of faith. Hong Meng's powerful spiritual sense was projected towards the fox demon world. Sense was projected towards the fox demon world. Sense was projected towards the fox demon